Well, speaking of
tired.
poisonous chestnuts, why don't we go ahead and get
How?
started?
How is that the thing?
I don't know. I need some kind of segue.
Oh my god,
Very
you're so
informational
funny.
evening.
Has the recording started then?
Recording has started. Yes,
When did it start?
just now.
Penis minutes ago.
That's about
Penis.
right.
P minus negative P minute.
Pen 13.
I'm 13.
Pen 15.
Last we left our heroes, we had returned to the city of Rockdale. We had turned in some gnoll bounties, got some gold for it, and Nariko had managed to employ one of the bar regulars here in Rockdale to assist you all with potentially clearing out a gnoll den. Of course, she's not doing it for free, but she opted for the more conservative payment option. Meanwhile, everybody had returned to the Siren song, where Jade had a little bit of a freak out.
A
And
minor one.
Huh?
Just a minor one.
Just a minor one. We all gathered together, shared what you've learned. Some shared a little bit more detail than others, and behind closed doors. And Nariko got a lesson on courting, I suppose you could say. You all turned in for the night, got your long rest. All of your hit points, abilities, what have you, came back. In the morning, upon waking up, the professor had kind of a strange dream, and when he woke up, happened to see Jeremy um, creepily hovering over his body with his spell book. Opened the spell book to find a new spell had been written inside.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. With that, I will take you back to the Siren song. It is morning, and breakfast has been made, as is per custom. What y'all doing this morning?
I think the professor is going to be a little bit later getting down to breakfast because he's really pondering over the dream. And I think he's going to try and reach out and establish a communication with the great god Kalimdor.
So is he just praying? You don't have like a channel divinity that allows you to do that sort of thing yet, do you?
No, I don't know. I've never used my. Hold on. Probably not. It's mostly just like he has some experience there, so I probably praying and just reaching out to see if Kalimdor would grace him with connection.
So Professor begins his day with a morning prayer to Kalimdor. Why don't you give me a religion check with advantage?
I got some new dice for this, and let's try that. Where's my religion? That's 24.
So not so much of a direct line to Kalimdor while you're on this plane, but as you get up in the morning and you say your prayer, reaching out to try to connect him, you feel a presence, just kind of like waiting, looming around you. You can feel it feels like you are not alone, though you are pretty much just yourself, and I believe Ren was staying with you in the room that night.
You can hear him snoring.
So aside from Ren, you don't see any other presence, but you can feel that kind of like presence of Kalimdor, like a weight, but more like a comforting, like weighted blanket sort of feel. Something you've come to know and grow accustomed to.
So as he kind of feels this presence, he kind of closes his eyes and just says, "This non-physical connection is always weird, but I didn't quite know who to turn to. He kind of fidgets a bit as he casts a glance over to Ren, and he just says, You see, I feel a change. Since bringing Jeffrey here, I feel his influence, this subtle thing, not quite physical, not in the way that I think and feel as far as I can tell, but more in my relationship with the weave. Like, before, I could simply seize it and mold it to shape my spells, but now it's almost like I can feel every thread in the spaces in between. I don't know if it's Jeffrey, if he's even aware of it. See, last night I had this dream, and it felt like a dream. It felt like it was full of lucidity, but I couldn't shake this niggling in the back of my mind, like maybe it wasn't. And then when I woke, I found Jeffrey just sort of hovering over me with my journal, and a new spell I've never heard of inscribed inside. Nothing like I've ever seen, something from the school of void magic. I've prepared it, but I need to know. I need some sort of inkling. How might this affect me? If I were to use this with my mind, my spells, how I manipulate the weave, can you provide me with any insight into this void magic?
As you say your prayer into the quiet room, there is a wind that picks up outside, and a window in your room flies open, and this wind comes rushing in. Ren, you can kind of feel it stirring you, gently kind of pushing against you as you sleep. Perhaps it starts to kind of rouse you from your sleep a little bit, but this wind picks up, and you see it catches Jeffrey and it pins him to the door as he's floating about in the room. It pins him there, and his wing, or I don't know, he doesn't even have wings. His tentacles flutter about as he tries to get a hold of where he's at to try to regain control of his movement, but he's just kind of stuck there, and he looks at you with big eyes, surprised, panicked, and the whispers start flooding into your mind, but you've pushed it back once before, and you're able to push it off again, Professor, but the feeling that you get is that, at the very least, the message that you're getting from Kalimvor is one of extreme caution.
He takes in a long, deep breath and raises to his feet and nods, and he just says, "Thank you. This will certainly take more research." And then he will pull out the gem that he has for Jeffrey and withdraws him from the door back into the gem.
In a flash of light, in a poof of ozone, Jeffrey is pulled back into your crystal. The wind dies down, and the window slowly shuts.
He slides this gem back into his coat and kind of rolls a shoulder, and his face is just kind of like placid and contemplative as he looks over to Ren, and he says, "Ren, are you awake?"
Did the spirit just leave? Something felt odd.
"It's a spirit of breakfast. I believe the bacon's probably ready. Are you coming?"
Ren opens up one eye. Not that it's really opening, but it's more like a glow ignites from within it. Yeah. But he knows he felt something weird.
Red,
He'll get up and follow after the professor. Julia, if you steal this french fry, so help me. Sorry, what was that?
That's alright. Why don't you also give me a religion check?
You got it. Juliet, this is my french fry. Fuck off. I held it up too high, and she tried to jump up and get it, because she's like,
Oh.
oh my gosh, her kind of switched to real dice.
a slight disturbance of the force.
Yep. Something weird.
Yeah.
Well, Ren, being related to death creatures, knows that there's stuff going on when there's windows moving. So it's going this way and that. He's not sure what's up, but something's going on. But sure, breakfast. Let's go there.
Professor grins and just throws his coat on and opens the door. Like, I swear to you, the great lord of runny eggs is down there waiting for us, and if he's gone by the time I get there, I'm not going to be a happy camper.
And I suppose you should move quickly.
He does not hesitate, and he is gone.
Curious fellow.
Professor Gren, you make your way out of the room. You start going to the main area. The crowd is mostly cleared out. It is morning. Not much of a morning crowd here, but those that you do pass by, some sirens making their rounds, doing some housekeeping, as well as those setting up the breakfast in the main room. A smattering few others who wound up staying the night also joining you. Kind of quiet, bunch of hungover people. You definitely seem to be the most bright-eyed and bushy-tailed amongst them.
I think Jade would have been up early, just from one, everything that happened the previous night, and also being anxious for today, and would be waiting for everyone to come down for breakfast. We're in the main room, or did we have like that separate like private room for breakfast again this time?
Yeah, it would be the same setup they had last time.
Okay, so like passing through to go to our private room for breakfast. So she'll just be there, kind of waiting for everyone, rearranging plates that have nothing on them, reorganizing things, just to keep her hands busy.
Being up before the others, you see Professor and Ren make their way in.
She'll just wave. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I made seating for everyone. I put plates out in case you wanted a plate. I didn't put anything on the plates, but there's plates here, and I put a little tiny plate on top of a big plate so she can have, I don't know, bread or something separate. I saw that in a fancy painting once, so
you can keep the crispy things crispy and the saucy things saucy, and you don't have to worry about them cross-contaminating. I like this. This is small.
Yeah. I tried to do a thing with the butter, but it didn't work, so it's just a little bit on the little cup.
Oh, I like it. It's a very cute cup.
Yeah, they have really nice little decorations on everything. I think those are some strange flowers that are painted on it, but I don't know, lilies or something.
Professor gets
feeling
really
better?
close to the cup.
Yeah. I talked with Reverie last night, and I feel a little better. I actually had something I wanted to talk to you all about. When everyone's here, if that's okay.
Oh, of
Well,
course.
Nod.
I look forward to hearing.
Good. Yeah. I look forward to telling you, I think. I'm going to move these other plates into a different pattern of plates. And she'll just busy herself.
So you all gather into your little nook. The Sirens have brought various juices, things to make tea and coffee and various breakfast foods out for you. Buffet style, cart style, all kept out nice and warm. Reverie still passed the fuck out. waiting for the rest. Ren, what are you insight checking on that nat 20?
Ren is smart enough to know Jade is not okay. Good job, buddy.
I'm pretty sure with 25, you see through everything.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
don't know,
sure
man. He's
Red's,
a little
Red's-
dense.
I think Red's pretty hip to what's going on.
She's definitely calmer than she was yesterday, and she seems more put together, but you could tell she's still anxious and nervous. She can't seem to sit still, and she's keeps moving things around on the table.
Ren
think
is just
Yuki-
silently watching her. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Red.
His head is just swiveling back and forth like he's almost watching a tennis match, just watching her buzz back and forth across the room.
I think
Wait.
Yuki is just gonna make her way down and join you guys for breakfast.
Not long after Yuki joins, Nariko will enter the room, having collected all of her stuff. As she heads over to take her seat, she's gonna pop over to Ren and say, "Oh, Ren, I've got something for you. Seemed like could have come in handy yesterday, so I want to make sure this was top priority." And Nariko will hand over a clockwork amulet to Ren.
Ooh. I have been seeing these around.
Yes.
The craftsman is very good.
Thank you. I think I'm getting a little bit better with each one, but hopefully it will help keep you a little more safe and less subject to the whims of fate. Yeah, or you can use it as a watch too. It tells time.
Time. Ren will, with some pride, put it around his neck. He doesn't think he's used to feeling like he fits in, but he feels like part of something now, and that does make him happy.
It's so cute.
Nariko sees the little twinkling of lights in Ren's eyes, and she thinks that means Ren's happy. The skull. It's
just a skull.
She smiles, slightly unsure, but says, "I think it looks great on you."
Thank you.
Well, Nariko will take a seat, immediately get to the coffee. He needs it this morning. And look around and say, hopefully it was a pleasant, quiet night for everyone else.
Yep. Quiet for me. Reverie snores sometimes, but not a peep otherwise.
Good. My evening was very enlightening. Got a lot of good information for going forward.
Oh, did your tutor work out well then?
Yes, he was. I wasn't too sure about him. The references seemed a little light for his resume, but it seemed like he knew what he was talking about, and he gave some good advice.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, I know you were asking Jade. I say I give him a recommend. Next time here, if you would be interested in doing tutoring, I would be more than happy to join you for the session if you wanted someone to keep you company for it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't really, I wouldn't, yeah, it's a man, so I don't really, I would, yeah, threesome sounds perfect. Three-way teaching is probably the best way to go.
Narco smiles and says, "Yeah, I think that would be a good experience."
Yeah. How was everyone else's evening?
Well, we created successfully through intense experimentation, the perfect second dinner. Still working on a name, but, I like to think that after your first dinner, you want to get the body moving, kind of get yourself wound down and set your mind at ease. And what better to really fill the soul than to give you a meal you could eat on the go, on your way to bed or out on the street. Bacon pancakes. Bacon encased in a pancake with the syrup already built in. You can eat with your hands while you walk.
I wouldn't get drippy, or is it in the pancake itself?
It's in the pancake! And he throws his hands up in the air excitedly. It's in the pancake! You can eat with your hands! And he covers up his mouth. You can eat it with your hands. And you don't get sticky because it's in the pancake.
I spread. Right. Oh, that's that's exciting. Did you save some to share?
What's exciting is this. And he takes the little cup of butter and sort of plops it upside down and knocks the butter out of it and pours like a little bit of syrup into it. It's like, you could dip. If you don't have enough built in, you can dip. And you can walk. You can dip and walk and eat all at the same time.
It's a take-up, so, it works out well. Yeah. It's great.
Second dinner. Trust me, it's coming.
Do
It's
you
gonna
put it
be
on
big.
a stick, or is it just you use it with your hands?
Oh, a stick, Ren! We didn't think of a stick. Why didn't we think of a stick? That's brilliant. Do you have a stick?
I have a staff. It's pretty big, so probably no. So the answer is no, I don't have a stick, but we could get sticks.
Right, maybe for tonight. Get some sticks. We'll try this out.
Yeah. So, I wanted to talk to everyone before we left for the day, and if everyone wants to share about how their evening went before I talk, that'd be great. Other than breakfast. Did you do anything other than breakfast? Where's Jeffrey? Still running
Yes,
the nat 20 red leg.
Where is Jeffrey, Professor?
Professor just goes, Jeffrey's taking a bit of a rest. And he sort of pats his jacket where the gem is in the inside pocket.
Oh, did he get tired?
Yeah, let's say that.
Okay.
Okay, still nat 20. What you got?
This is for nat 20. Nat 20, Jade is definitely stalling.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's even aware of it. I'm just, I know he never realizes anything. Yeah, he hears Jade saying, anyone else want to talk about anything they did at all? And he just kind of like tilts his little horns. Has his head like, why does she want to talk, but does not want to talk?
On my 15, do I notice anything off with the professor?
Professor, are you trying to hide?
Hold on. Ooh, yeah. That's an 11. So, yeah, he's just he's being elusive, evasive of the question, trying to avoid giving much information about why Jeffrey isn't with them. And you'd probably just sort of pick up that he's being a bit dodgy about it.
Okay. She's going to keep that to herself. She's not going to call him out, but she's just going to kind of keep that under her hat, as it were.
Nothing better than a tabaxi wearing a hat.
Especially one named Mercer.
What about you?
No,
Sorry.
My evening was restful, peaceful, quiet, and comfortable, thank you.
Yuki, did you get a chance to see over the draft of the letter that I was going to send to Marcus?
Yuki smiles and she says, "Yes, I did, and I think it is absolutely perfect. It is a wonderful balance of information, questions, and it is so..." And she looks right at you and says, perfectly you.
Nariko blushes intently. It's like, good. That's the goal. Present myself and allow him to present in kind, but not in like a weird way. Yeah, that good. Thank you for your feedback.
Thank you for trusting me to read it.
Yes. I have no idea what any responses will be, but if a rapport is set and correspondence continues, then I hopefully shouldn't need to ask for any assistance, and also be for Root to air his mail out. But yes, I don't think I'll send the first letter just yet, but I see a Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben. Ben.
Hi, Ben. I'm double muted.
Oh.
Double mute. Double mute.
Catching you up, and everybody's basically just waking up and joining for breakfast and having chats.
Jade has been hoping for everyone to stall with conversation, so that
Jade's
we have just run
stalling
out of
as well.
conversation.
Yeah, and now we just ran out of conversation. Okay. Yep. So that's everyone's night. Everyone had a good night. Nothing else happened.
I'm gonna have Nariko roll an insight check. Oh shit!
God damn.
Oh,
Jade is an open book this morning.
Yeah, my 17 of my trying for deception does not come close to that.
I was actually
20.
kind of hoping that Nariko would fail, but
Roll with disadvantage. You're distracted.
no, this works too. Nariko kind of like catches the little bit of break in Jade's voice as she says that, and she kind of looks real closely at Jade and sees that she's kind of like a little bit of a pressure cooker this morning. And remembering how yesterday went, Nariko's gonna sort of like move around the table and kind of like take a seat next to Jade and say, "Hey, could I practice something with you for just a moment?"
Yeah, of course. Sure.
And Nariko's gonna sort of reach out her hand and kind of offer for Jade to take hold of it.
Jade hesitates for just a second, and shuffles her just stuff around. She's holding her. She's currently holding David in her bag, and she reaches out and she takes Nariko's hand.
And Nariko's just gonna kind of gently go through the different kinds of hand holds that she learned about last night with her tutor, and kind of sort of gently tell Jade a little bit about. Yep, so there's the palms clasped down, which apparently can mean sort of this, or you're being very gentle and dainty. There's even the pinky hold, and as she kind of like does this to kind of like help soothe Jade a little bit, she's gonna say, "And we all had a good night." And she's gonna like look up to Jade and say, "And we're all very happy that you were able to overcome all those feelings and, I don't know, memories or whatever that happened, and that you weren't really able to talk about, and you did not ruin any of our nights at all." And we're very,
So,
go
ahead.
Nariko thinks that Jade is getting flustered because she thinks that her Nariko's theory is that Jade is worried her outburst yesterday made everyone mad, and that's why they kind of split up during the night or anything like that. She's trying her best to sort of dispel any of that for her.
Jade is very focused on the hand holding and the different types of ways to hold hands, because so far she's only known of 2 ways to hold hands, and this is very interesting for her. And really, they should write these things down so that people know about them. It would have been much easier to know about this if it was in one of her books. And as Nariko segues a little bit from talking about the different types of hand holding to everyone having a good night, she'll just look up to meet Nariko's eyes, and she does relax a little bit with that, and just gives her a smile. Her hands this whole time are a little chilled, like a little cold, like they would be if you were just out in a brisk breeze for a while. They're not freezing like they were prior when she had held you. Just a little chill. And she says, "I'm really glad that everyone had a good night. That's actually kind of what I wanted to talk to everyone about this morning, if it's okay. Thank you, Reverie. And thank you, Nariko, for..." And she gives her hand a little squeeze. "Just for being you."
Blushing from Nariko, she's like, well, it's my pleasure.
That's mine too. I mean, to be with you when you're you. I look to be with you because you're you.
Can I ride that 20 perception or insight check? Or do I need a fresh roll?
No, I think you're good.
Okay. Jade,
Jade likes being around Nariko
how much?
a lot.
Like a lot?
Like,
I don't-
or like.
I don't think Jade
Like.
Jade doesn't know if Jade knows that she really likes Nariko and she enjoys being around Nariko. Nariko makes her feel happy, and she makes her she makes her very wistful. I don't think Jade has any romantic feelings for Nariko at this point in time. That she is at least aware of them being romantic. But thinking about not being around Nariko again makes her very anxious and upset. I think in that moment where we're holding hands and just looking at each other, I think you could see that this is just someone who truly enjoys every aspect of your company, and when you go to pull your hand away, there's a little bit of a wistfulness there that she wishes you could hold hands a little bit longer.
Okay. Well, good news. Nariko isn't going to stop holding hands until Jade disengages contact, so have fun with that.
Cool. Jade's gonna keep holding your hand. So long as Nariko lets her. And then, realizing that other people are still here and watching, she's going to just look at the rest of the group. Sorry. I'm sorry. I like spending time with all of you too, and I wanted to talk to everyone, if that's okay, about yesterday, about what happened.
Of course, Jade. We're here for you. What is it? And Yuki is going to, seeing that her friend is very uncomfortable, she's going to just make a cup of tea and very quietly start purring. The kind of like when we were all stuck in that cell. The purring is going to start quietly, and it will slowly build and build. And for some reason, the rumbling, the rhythmic rumbling, feels a little soothing, a little maybe taking the edge off just a little bit.
I lied a little bit yesterday. I'm sorry that I did that. The amulet that you found, it wasn't actually cursed with magic, and I'll let you believe that because it's still really bad to have. Really, really bad people follow that mark, and you shouldn't have it anywhere around you, even if it's been cleaned. And I cleaned it, but it's just not a good idea. So I know you buried it, and it's good. I'm sorry that you can't use it for anything else, but it's better that it's gone. And I talked to Reverie last night, and I don't remember getting back here. I remember that part of the amulet, and I remember a little bit of conversation, and I know I was talking, and I don't remember most of the rest of the day after that. I just remember being here and then being in the kitchen, and it happens sometimes, and it hasn't happened like that in a while, and I am getting better, so I mean, I hope you don't have to worry about that happening again, and I would never leave any of you if you were in danger. I would never want to hurt any of you like that. But and now she'll let go of Nariko's hand and hold on to her bag, even though she doesn't really want to. And she'll hold David. But it happened yesterday because of what you found. And I've been keeping something from all of you because I was afraid to tell you, and I'm not supposed to tell anyone because bad things could happen to me if people found out, maybe, and really my papa would get in trouble. We saw the tracks going away from that site yesterday, and they turned into monster tracks, and we're pretty sure that they're hiding in the cave, and maybe they all got turned into gnolls. And if they did, that's fine, because then that means that they're the monsters that they should be, and if we go to that cave and attack them, we're not going to have to feel bad about it. But if they all didn't turn into gnolls and there's still people left, if anybody had that amulet, we can't let them leave that cave. Because the things that those people do, they're not doing it for a god. They're doing it because they're bad people. And I know that, and I really need you all to believe me when I say we can't let them go. And I know they're bad because they killed me. And all my sisters. And my papa wasn't able to save us. I'm here because he loves me so much and he wanted me to have a little bit of a life that I wasn't able to have. But I'm not really alive. I'm not like Ren. And I really don't want them to do that to anybody else.
I think hearing that, Nariko's first thought when Jade says that they killed her is to go back to what little she had pulled up about Moloch from the religion check that she'd made. And the thing that stuck out was cult known for sacrificing young women, or more specifically even children. And her eyes are just going to go wide, and Narco's gonna kind of like sort of whisper to herself, "Sacrifices, oh, no." And she's gonna look to Jade, who is quiet and kind of waiting for the bombshell. I don't think Nariko. Yeah, I think Nariko's just gonna straight up like. She's already sitting next to Jade, just sort of like put an arm around her on the other side, just kind of like bring her into a hug.
Jade has been sitting there since she went quiet, and there are tears. There is a sheen of tears in her eyes, but none are falling right now. And she's just holding David, waiting for everyone to absorb what she just said and waiting for something to happen. And she flinches ever so slightly when Nariko first reaches out, and then just kind of collapses into Nariko and hugs her.
Yuki gets up, walks around the table, and just envelops both Jade and Nariko in a hug, tail and all, just wraps them both up. And she's still purring. She has not stopped. She has not wavered 1 second in her support for Jade and whatever Jade needs. She's not going to say anything because she doesn't want to say the wrong thing, but she is just going to just hug her, wrap her tail around her, that big floofy fluffy tail, and just wrap it right around Jade.
Jade feeling Yuki there, like, just hugs Nariko tighter and leans into Yuki at the same time, just so glad you're here, and she just cries.
Yuki will also position herself so that her back is to the main area of well, we're in this private room, so it's like to the door. In case anyone would come in, they would not see Jade as she is right now. It's kind of Yuki's way of another layer of protection for her friend when she is feeling vulnerable.
You're a very strange group, Ren notes dryly.
Yeah,
One of a
we're
kind.
super weird.
Then we will destroy everything in the cave?
Please.
Ren kind of shrugs. It seems their time has come to an end.
I'm so glad we're all friends. I'm so worried that you wouldn't want to be friends anymore.
Why? Reverie has lost her memory of sorts and is a type of clone. I am. Whatever I am. Nariko is still trying to figure herself out, as is Yuki in many ways. The professor thinks he knows himself, but I do not think he knows everything he must. So why would we as lost souls condemn you for being as lost as the rest of us?
That's just what Grandmama said.
That's very specific.
Fucking Ren.
Grandmama is very specific. But you're really smart, Ren. Oh, she's just worried about me. When my dad sent my sister back the first time, people were not kind about that. So it's better to not say anything. It's not undead or anything like that. It's just people don't like things that aren't really alive. I guess.
People make mistakes.
Yeah.
Fear is a usual response to things that people don't understand well enough. But I think you're among company where instead of fear, it's wonder and awe. As it should be.
I'm just really glad I found you guys. And we all came together. It's such a strange way. I'm really glad it happened. Even though now I don't know. Now we're trying to uncover 2 cults and fight gnolls and everything I never thought I'd ever do. But I'm glad I'm doing it with all of you.
Yuki will kind of step back and she'll smooth Jade's hair. She'll kind of straighten her hat a little bit. Just kind of like in that wanting to be comfort in a way and just make you feel like kind of like a washed face kind of makes you feel better after you've had a cry. She's trying to do that, and she says, and she'll say to you, you know, this is the way things happen sometimes. Sometimes people meet when they are supposed to fill some part of you that has been missing. I am also very glad to have met you, to know you, and to call you my friend.
Me too. I love you all so much. And I know we've only known each other like 10 days, and that's probably a really big thing to say in front of everyone and all of you, but I really do. You're my only friends, and you're the best ones that anyone could ever want.
Jade, it has been 10 days, but in those 10 days, if we were not here as friends, I would be dead at the bottom of a mine shaft. I think we've been through enough at the time. This really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it kind of accelerated everything, didn't it?
Crisis can do that.
Yeah.
Um,
I should probably let you breathe a little bit.
No. You're in this hug until I still see your lip twitching.
Yeah. And she has been crying, but the tears are staying in her eyes. They're not actually falling.
Okay.
But it's full on weeping.
Yeah.
She just can't actually cry.
I certainly do have questions about the nature of your not being alive, but not being an undead or anything like that. But one thing I am concerned about, you mentioned that your dad wanted to send you and your sisters here. I'm guessing that means the material plane, to kind of have life. Are you here on a temporary basis? Like, are you going to have to go back?
She kind of wipes her face. No, I don't have to. I can stay as long. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I'm here until something happens to me again.
That doesn't
have to
really
go
make
back.
you any different from the rest of us.
Oh. Well, yeah. I suppose that's right. I mean, I'm not. Well, this what he did doesn't have. Well, like it doesn't have a time frame, or it doesn't expire or anything like that. It's just it's my turn now. So
Your turn amongst your sisters, or just
I'm the youngest, so I came last.
okay? So it's not a choice between you or
Oh
one of
no,
your sisters to be here. You can all be.
all of us can. Most of my sisters are back home now.
It sounds like your dad has quite a bit of power then.
Yeah, he does. He's got a lot.
Nariko.
He's done a lot for us.
Nariko debates whether or not to ask this question and decides that while she's already kind of hugging Jade, it's probably the best because they're braced. Jade,
Yeah.
I'm guessing part of the reason that you had such a bad reaction to these people, part of what they did to you and your sisters.
Yeah.
Do you remember when that happened?
She shakes her head. I remember a little bit, but not much. I know what my papa told me when he found me, but I don't really remember. He did say that being back here, it was gonna I'd probably start remembering things, especially if something was triggering it.
Mm.
I don't. Yesterday, I didn't. I remembered just stars and stones. But I remember feeling. I remember what the feeling was. And it.
Where did your dad find you?
I don't remember. Outside. I remember. I remember it was outside. It's he told me it was a cliffside. It overlooked the sea, and they had built standing stones. It was nowhere around here. I've never been here before.
And David was also one of your father's rescues?
Yeah, kind of. David is and she'll set him on the table. David is well, David kind of was never really alive. Like, I mean, he's alive. He's a real person. He's his own person and everything like that. But he was never like a person here. He was he's a spirit of intellect. Right, David?
As you say David's name, the little flames in the eye sockets of the skull start to kind of start to glow a little bit, and they kind of flash around the room a little bit, and they take in everybody's faces, and then they eventually look back up at you and Jade. He's like, "Yeah, you got it."
And that spirit was made by your dad?
Oh, made, summoned. What's the difference?
Well, actually, quite a lot. I mean, on the astral significance, no lectures right now. No. Okay.
So,
Jade,
have I been muted this whole time?
maybe for a hot second.
Ah, damn. So Jade will pipe up and she'll say, from what Papa tells me, spirits like David kind of just exist and they kind of drift about. They're sentient, but they don't really interact that much unless you build them a home to stay in. This is David's home that it protects him, and then he stays in one spot, and then he can be with us.
Nariko kind of looks at the skull, which has very obvious infernal lettering all over him. She's trying to put some pieces together here. Jade, you mentioned your dad a lot, and it sounds like he's very powerful, very important. Are you allowed to tell us what his name is?
I want to tell you. Would you like to meet him?
I would. If he's responsible for saving you and letting you come here, that's definitely someone who I have a lot of admiration for.
Okay. Okay. Yuki, can you shut the door, please?
Absolutely. And Yuki will go shut the door, and she will also try to lock it if she can, or do something to kind of secure it. Maybe put a chair in front of it.
Don't
I'm
be
just imagining one of those little hotel placards that you hang on the doorknob that you just put on the outside. It just says, "Do not disturb. In emergency, knock first. Consent is important."
Don't be scared. And she'll turn David on the table to look into his eyes. And she'll set her hands along the sides of the skull. And the missing piece of the arcane symbol in the skull fills in. And she will expend all 6 charges within David to summon her father.
There is a burst of magic that comes from the skull. The eyes completely dim out, the mouth opens up, and as it does, there is this howling that fills the room. The lights darken, and from the mouth of the skull, a geyser of flame erupts upwards. It is accompanied with the sounds of tortured howling and screaming and screeching and all sorts of other unworldly calls. The smell, the stink of brimstone fills the air. From the geyser of flame, it begins to die down, and you see the image of a large being, horns and spikes sticking out from every which angle. It looks almost like a tree come to life, turned to stone, with a fire in its eye, fire raging from its chest. Looks a little bit something like this.
Oh, dang.
It
Ren almost smiled.
stands on the table above David. It towers above all of you and looks down with its gaze. I would like everybody except Jade to please give me a wisdom saving throw.
It's fine. Oh, Yuki, no.
Yeah.
Ren seems like a happy boy. Hello.
The sight of this is something awful and terrible and ancient and beyond most mortal comprehension, but for Nariko and Ren and Professor, it's more of a study. It's a curious look. It is enthralling to watch, hypnotic almost. For Reverie and Yuki, you are currently under the frightened condition.
Cool.
This
Yuki's tail will puff up, her eyes will get big, and she will sit still. She's not gonna run, because, feral scaring things, but she's gonna stay still.
the being hunkers over you and stares down, and it speaks in this booming voice that reverberates off the walls itself. It says, "Who dares summon me? I will cleanse the flesh from your bodies and tear the muscles from your skeleton!"
No, Papa, it's me. It's me. Papa.
Oh!
It's me. It's David and me. It's Jade.
Jade! Shit! Sorry, hang on. There's a...
Oh, you want to swear.
Another geyser of flame erupts upwards from the skull, and the vision of this being is now replaced by one with... it's a little easier to look at. Purplish skin, red hair, Again, fire in the eyes, but not as intimidating this time. A couple of nice earrings. Wearing a nice little sweater vest and has small spectacles covering his eyes. That's a little something like this.
Hi, Papa.
Looks down at you and says, "Oh, Jade, I'm sorry. I got a little carried away." And he kind of
No, it's okay.
comes down to a knee and he reaches his arms out to you.
I kind of reach up into his arms to hug him.
Reverie Yugi, you are no longer frightened.
Okay.
Says you.
Right? Her tail is still fluffed out.
The fright condition remains. The condition is gone, but the experience remains.
He says, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. Oh, I
What?
swore.
It's
been.
okay.
Hi.
Hi. No, I'm sorry. I should have called first and let you know, and it was everything kind of happened all at once. And these are my friends. These are the friends I was telling you about.
He kind of stands up. He gets off the table and he takes a seat so that he's kind of like down on your level. The room lightens back up again. The smell, the screams, they all fade away. And he smiles as he looks at you all and he says, Oh, you're the friends that Jade has told me about. Oh, she's said so many nice things. It's so wonderful to meet you all.
Hey, Papa, this is Reverie and Nariko and Ren and the Professor. He had a name, but he gave the name away, so his name is the Professor now. And that's Yuki. Everyone, this is my Papa.
He kind of smirks and nods knowingly at the professor. He says, "Oh, been there." Yep.
Yeah. Papa, we found them, or traces of them, and I told everybody everything.
He kind of lifts one of his eyebrows and he says, "Them? You might have to be a little bit more specific, sweetheart."
The people who lie about you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So Jade, I'm assuming he's sitting by her, kind of just lays her hand on his arm, and she says, "This is my papa, Moloch."
He kind of smiles and nods at everybody. He says, "Yep, Moloch, nice to meet y'all." Yep.
Hello.
He turns to Professor as he says, "Your dad is scary and infernal," and answers back to you and says, "Well, thank you, I appreciate that."
He tries real hard sometimes. Usually the people who summon him are not, me.
I could see how that would be an effective approach to discourage further summonings.
Yeah.
He looks at you, Ren, and he says, "Oh, you're a curious one. You appear to be not quite among the living, but I don't recall seeing you."
I believe I went to a different place.
She goes to a different school.
Ren's here because of Thanatos.
Oh, Thanatos! How's he doing?
Oh, I haven't seen him.
Oh,
I do not know. He did not give me my memories when I returned.
yeah, he does that.
Gods, right?
What are you
Wait,
gonna do?
that is the pattern of behavior?
I'm sure there's a lot of questions.
Nariko just raises up a hand like she's in class. Just, yes.
It's Nariko.
You don't have to raise your hand, darling. You can speak freely. It's fine.
Nariko like takes a second and goes, "Yes, I know. I was just waiting for my mouth to work again."
Yeah, typical reaction. I get it.
Oh, sorry. I really should have warned everyone, but then I thought, if I tell you, you're just gonna not believe me and you're gonna run away, and I thought that this would be easier. It was probably not the best solution to that. Just pulling off a band-aid, you know. Just try to. I'm sorry.
So, Nariko just sort of nods and says, pleasure to meet you, Mr. Moloch.
Oh,
Thank you for sending...
Just Moloch. It's fine.
Okay. Thank you for sending Jade to the material plane. She's been a wonderful friend, and while her time here has not been without complications, we're very grateful to have her, and we hope that she continues to enjoy living with us. So, obviously, the word that gets around is not always the most reliable, but I hear that supposedly you're an Archduke of Hell? How's that go?
I mean, you know, do what you love and you never work a day of your life, right? No, but really, no. It's you know, it's a thing that I've been doing kind of since the beginning of time. Don't really think much about it. I mean, there's a lot of power plays that go on in the Nine Hells. I'm sure you can imagine. One of those things where didn't like how the management was handling things, managed to usurp them, and now I run things my way.
Oh, is that a like from the top of the chain, or do you just run a particular layer?
Oh, it's just a particular. I mean, the Nine Hells are way too vast for really many devils to be able to handle. I mean, there are a few who are, of course, more powerful than others, but you know, we try and fly under the radar.
Oh, so which one's yours?
Which one is mine?
Yes.
I had an answer for this.
I rule the Bolge. It's real fun to say. I don't know what it translates to.
Actually, yes, it's what I had in my note.
Oh, Bolge is just the Latin word for like layer of hell.
Oh, it's actually Moloch.
B-O-L-G-E or something. It's funky.
It's actually Moloch.
Malbolge. So literally the bad layer.
Yeah, pretty much. It's so the layer I run is kind of a I guess you could say it's kind of a prison of sorts for souls who died, mostly bad people, and in my layer they get what they deserve.
Yeah.
But there is so I'm sure that you've heard from Jade if she's talked about one of these finding these cults, these cult members that you found. I'm sure you've heard about. They try to summon me through child sacrifice. And they think it's a way to summon me to bring me under their control. And actually, the truth of it is that when I find that they do shit like that, I show up and I smite them because that sucks.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of an understanding. I guess, you know, someone tried to do it way back when. I showed up, and then I killed everybody. Well, obviously not everybody, because someone got away and learned what was going on. They're like, oh, you know, we summoned a demon, and now we can try and get him under our control, but we must have gotten the ritual wrong, so we're going to try again. And then I show up again because they did the same shit again, and then that's just, I guess it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Ever swear?
Oh, sorry, Jade.
But what I was trying to say is, have you ever had an idea and then you didn't write it down right away, and then you went and tried to remember the idea you had, but you changed it a little bit when you remembered it?
Yes.
And it wasn't...
That's why we take notes.
Right. Well, way back before, people didn't write things down. They told them to each other. And Papa wasn't always a devil. He was an idea. Everything ever was always was first an idea. That's why there's so many different gods. There's only one sun. There's 400 gods of the sun, and there's everybody dies, but there's Thanatos, and there's Hades, and there's tons of different death gods because everyone believes in them, and it creates them. It makes them something. And when they're first made, that's what they are. And enough people believe in them, and enough people, I don't know, just not even worship them, but just know that they exist. And that's enough to make an idea take shape. But the problem is, when you're an idea, people can start changing you. And all the rituals that Papa used to see, sometimes other gods don't like it when you're, I guess, becoming more popular. And so they start to lie. And suddenly a god who was there, the transition of you become from a child to an adult, and the ritual where you sacrificed a little bit of blood so that you could leave childish things behind and finally become an adult, got turned into child sacrifice.
Hmm.
And suddenly that's all people remember you for.
Well, clearly the original form has some resilience. Your father does some wonderful theatrics. Nariko does her best winning smile, like, yes, no hard feelings over the fire and brimstone, my
Yeah.
very powerful and scary friend. But
Well,
clearly,
you hope you make an entrance like that. They try not to summon you again, but there are just some, man. They just, I
Yeah.
don't know, they just eat it up.
You can never really kill the original idea. It'll always still exist.
I see.
That's-
When you first started talking, I thought that perhaps your father had originally been sort of a concept for, jailing of the profane, which would kind of be a holy idea in itself, but then got twisted. But it sounds like it goes far further than that.
He was protected kids. Protected him from all the bad things.
I tried, but unfortunately I'm not as omnipotent as other deities would be, so not all the time am I able to get there in time.
Sometimes they get the ritual just right enough. And Papa can hear them. And then he makes sure that they can't do that again.
I see. And I presume the fact that he's stuck in this more fiendish side of the cosmic spectrum is why your own resurrection comes not quite so clean as, someone like Paylor might be able to do for one of their rescues.
Palor's a bitch. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I did mean it, but not in it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to swear, but he's mean and he's a bad person, and I don't like him. She crosses her arms and she pouts a little bit.
Paylor's not a bad person. Just
they lied.
They
started it. I'm sorry.
On the cosmic spectrum of things, Jade, it just It kind of is what it is.
We could at least say sorry.
Well, that's kind of the thing with gods, right? If they say they're sorry, all of a sudden they're, looked upon as no more than mortal and can't have that. So, they have their dignity and their hubris to uphold. But
Yeah.
a little bit of understanding.
You say sorry.
Well, I'm a devil. I'm not held by the same rules.
It's true.
I could be whatever I want to be. I could be whatever anyone needs me to be. I have a little bit more freedom in that way.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I'm sorry. I swore. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
I understand the frustration. You don't have to apologize.
Yeah.
But
But,
to your point, Nariko, is that it's pretty much the right idea. I can only work with the tools that I'm given. And unfortunately, yes, as you pointed out, any resurrections I may be able to perform may not be as clean as those who follow a more, I guess, heavenly god, you could say.
Huh. It sounds like you need a PR manager.
Yeah.
What, that entrance wasn't PR enough for you?
Well,
Yuki's eyes go big again.
so
The screaming.
I grant you, it makes the entrance, but it very specifically reinforces every idea. Like, you don't intend to kill all of us, right?
No, not unless you're.
No, of course not.
No, but
Yeah.
we are also people who contribute our ideas to the general sphere, and we know you a lot better now. It's more nuanced, but we like that other side of you is still going to be quite an impression in our psyche. It's you kind of said it yourself earlier. It's self-fulfilling in that regard.
Well, you might have a point.
It would effectively, what you would need would be, what most quote-unquote respectable gods have, which would be acolytes, a clergy, who would spread, the dogma that you approved of, that you wanted to be the understanding. Anyone who hadn't ever heard of Moloch before would have this new conception of you, and anyone who didn't, well, Jade has some very strong opinions on what needs to happen to them.
I kind of do
But-
a little bit.
but-
I'm a little biased, but they're bad people and they.
Well,
Kalinik.
I have to say, the one thing that I worry about having a full clergy and acolytes and the like follow me is that it might elevate me from where I am right now. And while, hell can be unpleasant for many, I actually rather like what I do. So it's a fine line to toe to not elevate me out of where I'm at.
You are not seeking a promotion.
Well, I suppose you could put it that way. Well, basically what I'm saying is I don't want to be made into a saint or an angel. I rather enjoy being the one who punishes those who need punishing. To
Well,
give
that's
them
an angle.
what it is.
I mean,
they deserve.
that's something that could be worked with. It's a general. It would take some reconceptualizing of hell, not just as the dumping ground for evil souls, but specifically punishment of your own making. Work like working in some of that divine justice. You could still keep your form and your location. It would just be an emphasis of, oh, I am the terrifying monster that I am as a reflection of your soul, and then, but your own personal thoughts and actions are, just which is essentially what you are doing. It wouldn't even be stretching the truth. It would just be making it more widely known and accepted, so that it's made more concrete.
He kind of
She's really, really smart.
turns to Jade and he says, Millennia have been around. I guess marketing was the thing I needed, huh?
I mean, that's what Uncle Darius keeps telling you, and I know he's pushy about it, but
Ugh. Listen,
Uh,
Uncle Deus, he's got his own thing going on.
I know. Well, he keeps trying to get his promotion.
Yeah,
Actually, you
actually.
do you think that maybe like your dad should talk to my mom?
Oh, do you think she wants a pen pal?
I think pen pals might be the best way to start the relationship.
Do you know Nariko's mum? I don't think I said anything about Nariko's mum to you before. Well, Nariko has a mum.
All right.
Her name is Katerina.
Okay.
She seems really nice.
Okay.
Do you want to talk to her?
I mean, I guess.
Do you want to? I don't really know how she's going to talk to him. I talked to him because of David.
Right. But
I mean, she could build an altar, like a real one, and then she could talk to him that way.
Well, I mean, again, kind of handle it with kid gloves. I mean, not a lot of people in the material plane will kind of take kindly to an altar to a devil.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's be in a closet.
Red questioning why Nariko and Jade are trying to get their parents together.
It's not a reverse parent trap. It's an obvious one, and the parents are both like, "Yeah, we're gonna go have some dinner, and you can chill." Both of our daughters are neurotic, and I don't know what to do about that.
it's literally just like, no, your dad needs like someone to help him with his public image issues.
Yeah,
My mom is way better. It was way smarter than me on business stuff. Like,
Jade is right there with Nariko. It's like, oh yeah, Katerina runs a whole company. Everybody knows the Von Grutzer name. Like, she would definitely be able to help you with that.
Ren's insight didn't get him that far.
Well, it might help, I guess, combat the image the cult is trying to spread of me being a child murderer. That's child murder is not kind of one of the things I would want to be remembered for. But I still want to be feared.
You're very fearsome, Papa. You were terrifying when you came in. You really were.
I know.
Just a bit.
He looks at Reverie and Yuki and kind of nods to Yuki a bit and says, "I know. Her tail almost fell off. Did you see that?"
No, Yuki, are you okay?
Yuki kind of like snaps out of it. She's like, "Oh, ha, God, you're so right. It did almost come off. Glad it didn't. I'm fine."
Yuki, do you need healing? I can heal
No.
you. Is your tail okay?
No. Tail it's fine. And she's literally sitting crisscross applesauce with her tail like wrapped around herself to like kind of comfort herself. And she's just been like petting her own tail. She's like, no. It's fine. It's all attached. We're good. Thank you.
Do you want a hug?
Yuki smiles and she says, I will always take a hug.
Jade goes and she hugs Yuki.
And she will hug you back.
I just very gently give Yuki scritches behind her ears.
one of Yuki's eyes like closes a little, like that feeling, like the look that cats get when they're like give them scritches.
I'm so sorry that I surprised you with that. I didn't. I forgot he did that. I'm not afraid of it, so it's completely just kind of slipped my mind.
It's fine. I am honored that you would want us to meet your father. I was just surprised.
Not scared though.
She's
Now,
gonna
anyway.
she's gonna kind of look and say, not now. No, not now.
Okay, that's good. She just gives Yuki an extra squeeze.
She'll squeeze back.
So Joe, at this point, Nariko has like her book of notes out and is like trying to draw up some diagrams. Would it be like an Arcana check to work with Moloch to put together a quick list of the most likely successful means of cross-planar communication?
Yeah.
Cool. I think this macro just works. I don't think I need to have Jade again. No. I have 2 inspirations. Let's use one. What?
Damn it!
No, I refuse. I have 2. I'll use the other one. Fuck you. And also, I'm using my physical dice.
Do it.
Get up.
Let's see.
That was the exact same roll both
1d20,
times.
2d4.
If you roll another 13, that's gonna be hilarious.
No, it's not.
38.
It looked like it was on like the actual 13 for a second there, like as the base die roll, and I was like, okay, that'd be good, but no, it's actually base 19.
Woo!
So,
Nice.
so plus 6 for the d4, plus 7 for the bonus, so that's 32.
32. I was close.
Shit.
I spent both inspirations on it. It better fucking be okay.
Okay, so working this Arcana check, kind of hashing out these ideas with Moloch, he mentions to you, Nariko, he says, "Well, where's your brother?"
Point Pleasant. Plum
Point
Brewster Manor.
Point Pleasant. He says, "There are a series of ley lines that run through the land. Now, Point Pleasant isn't a site of one of these greater ley lines, but there are some lesser ones that extend out. Most of these towns, they have some kind of connection to this source. Anytime you have a group of people that come together and they stay in one place for a long enough time, these things kind of grow. It's like growing roots, like literally. So there are, I guess, means of me being able to tap into that to send some kind of communication back and forth." Now, it's not going to be as easy as, sending a letter, but I'm sure we can work something out.
Let's see. Oh! I have an idea. Ley lines, right? So they would be more likely to be able to affect ambient, like magical creatures and constructs, right?
That would be a fair assumption.
Nariko smiles. Do you have any idea how many Modrons are flying through Point Pleasant at any given moment?
Modrons from Mechanus.
Oh yes.
Really?
Nariko kind of smiles and says, I have one just outside the door if you want me to bring one in."
Sure.
Newman.
Newman. Newman! There he is. Window opens up. Newman kind of rushes in and lands on the table. He looks up at you, Nariko, and he says, you rang them? Or called?
Yes.
Well, you didn't actually ring anything. You called. You called?
I did call. Newman, I just need you for a quick experiment. You are... She kind of like looks over his head and just pats it. More pliable than most. I just need you to hold still, and Mr. Moloch is going to run a few tests on you, okay?
Sure.
Cool. Mr. Moloch, if you would you kind of just sort of tug ever so slightly onto a ley line and see if you're able to get a little bit of a line into my very axiomatic friend here?
You see, he kind of frowns a bit, and he says, I think I see where you're going with this. And you see his hand reaches into the ground and kind of makes a fist. And you kind of feel a little bit of like ambient pressure coming up from under the ground. And you see just this tiny kind of strand of light pull up through the floor, and it makes contact with Newman. Alright.
Alright. Now, see if you can, just some simple commands. Just step forward, step back, raise arm, just to see if the motor functions are firmly connected.
Moloch tilts his head, staring at Newman, and he says, flap your wings. I see Newman goes, right! And he kind of hovers above the ground. Ah. And a couple other commands, drift left, drift right. And Newman seems to follow them.
Okay. Now, for this next part, it would be sort of like establishing the mental connection with the familiar. Just kind of dip your consciousness through the ley line up into him and see if you're able to sort of look through his eye.
Oh, that's easy. You see his eyes go white, and then you hear his voice coming out through Newman, and he goes, yeah, I can do that. And Newman starts kind of fluttering around the room.
Congratulations. At any given moment, there's, I believe, on average, 123 potential messengers that you would be able to hijack from within Point Pleasant at any moment. Also, never share this information with anyone from work.
Moloch comes back to himself, and he says, that is impressive, and no, we don't want this getting out.
No, I'm actually, now that it's done, I'm actually very worried at how easily we were able to accomplish that. Okay. Well, I think the communication will be easier than suspected in this case.
Oh, that's great.
He, see, Moloch kind of shrugs, looks at Jade. He says, "No, marketing team, I guess."
Yeah, I mean, Katarina runs the whole company, and everyone in the world knows who she is, and everyone loves the Von Kreutzner name. So I'm sure if anybody could figure out how to make sure that that part gets at least edited out of your myth, then I think they'd be able to help.
Interesting.
I won't promise any miracles here, but Mother knows far more about that sort of operation than I do. But I think a good place to start is, I mean, we basically have the most fully fleshed mail service for a couple of continents here at this point. It would be quite easy to, as part of like an ongoing increasing of education initiative, include, pamphlets and other such things that could be used to, not just for your father, but even just to help inform, like a paper that has the news on it, and other information that people should know from on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, like a daily journal.
Yeah, but published and written in such a way that the common person would be able to follow along. I'll think of a good name for it. at some point. But just news on your paper of news could be good.
Paper of news.
A newspaper.
Yeah. We'll workshop it again. I'm not the marketing person. I do more research and development.
Right. Interesting. Well, things to look forward to. He kind of stretches back a little bit. He rubs his hands together. He goes, "Well, the magic in David is starting to wear down, so I'm going to have to return soon. Not a whole lot of time left, so not to rush y'all, but if there's anything else you wish to ask or talk about, probably got a few more minutes to do it."
Jade runs
The
up.
professor immediately.
Sorry, Jade.
Jade just runs up to hug him for as long as she can while he's still here.
Jade's hugging Moloch. He hugs back. Professor.
The professor immediately jumps up and is like, "Sorry, I know you only have a couple of moments. Can I steal one of those moments just really quickly?"
Shoot. Yeah, sure.
He kind of straightens himself up and like brushes his hands off. Like, well, first, and he holds his hands out. Like, "Hello, I'm the professor, and I must say it is an absolute honor to meet you in this capacity. I must admit my own ignorance in that. Anytime I've been to the Melbourne, I made a point of trying to avoid your gaze. Meeting you like this really lends an incredible perspective. And thank you for coming here."
Oh, I see you now. One of Kelvor's messengers.
Former, so not so much anymore these days. But anyways, I wanted to moved on to other things, I guess.
Sure.
He teaches at a school now.
Oh.
I do. Yes, is there the Academy of Sorcery in Ekrim? On sabbatical right now, I'm writing a textbook of. That's neither here nor there. You only a couple minutes, and he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out Jeffrey's crystal and lets Jeffrey out. He's like, "You must have a lot of experience with people who've come your way, who have touched the void, and I just need to know if you have any sort of insight of people who may come into contact with it, use it, not for nefarious means, but I just need to know the level of safety before." Yes, anyways.
He kind of studies Jeffrey for a bit, and then he kind of looks back at you, Professor, and his expression becomes a bit more serious. He says, "Power of this kind existed before, well, really anything. It was, it's, if you can believe it, it's kind of a something from nothing sort of deal. I don't really know the specifics of it. As you see, it was from before my time. I can only tell you what I've seen on this plane of existence of those who have handled it. There was a group of people who did, once upon a time, believing it would bring, I don't know, some kind of balance to magic, I suppose. But what they found was that I think the balance that they were looking for was a little bit more harsher than they expected it to be, and the results were not great. So, not a lot of information really about this sort of thing, but I don't know, I think it was left out for a reason.
He nods and he kind of mutters something like, "Well, as far as second opinions goes, that pretty much shores things up. Thank you so much for taking the time." And he looks to the rest of the group and he kind of bows his head a bit and thank you for allowing me to capitalize on a couple moments that your father has left here. And he kind of takes a step back and kind of pulls Jeffrey back, like puts a hand on the back of his shoulders and kind of pulls him back as well.
Yuki will kind of shake herself, realizing that there is something very important she wants to ask this very scary person. Well, not so scary anymore, but previously very scary person. She's gonna get up and excuse, sir.
Moloch is fine.
Yeah, yes. Quick question. If Jade were to, I don't know, maybe get emotional, let's say, what is the best way to calm her down?
Ooh, well, she
I had
usually, oh, Jade, sorry, you were about to say.
I had an attack yesterday.
Uh,
I don't remember getting back here.
I'm afraid that she carries some of the anxiety from her previous iteration, and rightfully so. She went through a very traumatic experience. Um, what I've found is that soft, soothing noises tend to help. She she says that well, I would give her a warm drink, and she may not necessarily drink it, but sometimes just holding on to it helps. I think she has a bit of a penchant for stuffed animals.
I do like stuffed animals.
Yeah.
Yuki kind of looks at her tail, looks at Jade, and nods, says, "Okay, thank you, Sir Moloch."
Just
Moloch.
Moloch. Just Moloch.
She's just gonna kind of walk back to her spot.
And he kind of smiles expectantly, looking at the rest of you.
I'll have Jade use her means to contact you once I have a talk with my mother and see if she's open to some consulting work. It may be a bit. I'm definitely going to need to talk to her in person about this one.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so someone like me showing up out of the blue can be a bit jarring.
But it's always a nice experience, unless you're a bad person. And then it's a nice experience for other people, except the bad people.
I mean, mother's a pretty nerves of steel. So long as she had her expectations set before going in, I think she would do all right. It's mostly just going to be convincing her to put aside the bad press, and then her own estimation on whether or not it would be in the best interest of the company.
Sure, yeah, I get it.
But I will make the attempt. I owe Jade a lot, and if she's helping me do something very big and stressful for the good of my family, so if I can return the favor, by all means.
Yeah, Nariko's gotten engaged
Oh, congratulations!
to a man she doesn't know and has never met before.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, backup plan, if everything... She pats Dad's arm. Just in case,
Sure, yeah.
if he's bad. Or we need to get away. It's fine. It's good. Nariko and I are probably going to have a threesome with Tudor later about the whole thing. So,
sorry, what?
yeah, Grandma said Siren Song was the best place to go for answers to questions you don't have an answer to. And there was a man here who Nariko met who was really great at explaining things, and he showed her all kinds of different ways to hold hands. And maybe I will also find out how to hold hands.
Well, I'll tell you, sweetheart, the Siren Song is a hell of a place to have your first threesome.
It's really nice though. Everyone's been super.
Yeah, it's
super nice
a
and
great place, that's for sure. You just so young.
yeah. Well, I mean, they don't write it down in books, you know, so we have to. No, all the books I have just talks about people holding hands, and then sometimes there's more than holding hands, and then we never know how to get from to holding hands. I hold Nariko's hand sometimes, and they were gonna show us, and then I don't want to go by myself to the class, so Nariko's gonna come with me, so it'll be 3 of us in the class.
I'm gonna roll an insight check on old dad here.
On himself?
Yeah.
Does
Yes.
he understand what Jade is trying to say right now?
So as he listens to you ramble, Jade, you see he kind of gets his aha moment, and he says, "Oh, so you mean a okay, a class where 3 of you get together to learn things."
Well, 2 of us, me and Nariko, and then the teacher, tutor.
Right.
I guess he's not really a professor, is he?
So this is more of a class of just social dynamic.
Yeah, I don't really know how to interact with people.
Nariko proudly holds up her journal and flips to the pages where she has copious notes on everything she learned last night. It's like, oh yes, relationships in general, and courting, and some general do's and don'ts, although generally speaking, the rules seem very flexible. I did not know, but apparently there's this polyamory, which I think might actually solve a lot of problems that I've read in the literature. I mean, the literature is mostly just these romance novels that some of the other girls were reading, and it seems like all of them would have been solved if just like 3 people decided that they were just kind of cool being together. I'm not sure why they didn't go for that, but
All the ones I've read, they don't even talk to each other sometimes, and they're just kind of, and a lot of times there's a lot of running away, and then someone turns evil at the end, and then it's easier for you to make a decision, and it's not. They never say how to get to that point either. If one person's not going to turn evil.
Right. So let's revisit the term that you've used. Threesome.
Is it a 3-way?
He kneels down and he holds your hand, Jade, and he says,
this man has minutes before he gets ripped away back to the hell. He's like, spend this time clearing this up now before my darling daughter does something stupid.
Don't go to someone inviting you to a threesome. Oh fuck.
"Sweetheart,
Yes.
I know you have the binder that your grandmama gave you.
Yes.
Does the binder talk about sex at all?"
No. I mean, it says. So, hold on. And she's gonna pull out a binder. I'm gonna look it up because I wrote it down. Give me 1 second. Now I need to make sure.
Jade's dad about to have like the Cliff's Notes version of the talk with her.
Right. Okay.
All of her friends in the same room.
We never got a chance to go over this, honey, because it was never really an issue. Dang it. Where is it? There it is.
I thought it did, but it was like, do not progress to this chapter until you have successfully navigated through chapters 6 and 7.
Yeah, I mean in chapter 14, it talks about physical expression of your feelings, and that consent is very important, and you can stop at any time, and so can they, and no means no. I'm just gonna like just the first page of it. No means no, and violence is appropriate response if it's not respected, and that curiosity and exploration is natural.
Right, all good things. So, not a whole lot of time left, so I can't give you as much of a detailed talk as I'd like to, Jade, but basically what it comes down to is that the term that you're using, threesome, 3-way, it means that you have sex with 2 other people, and the 3 of you have sex together. So I would be careful about using that term openly.
Physically.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Oh no. I think I said that a lot of times.
If you said it here, you're fine. Nobody would think twice about it.
Okay. Nariko, did you say it?
Nariko is blushing furiously because she definitely said it and did not know.
Did we? If we're holding hands and there's 3 people holding hands, is that the same thing?
No.
Okay. It's only... There's a diagram.
It's mostly referred to when you're...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was not in chapter 14. That was not a term in chapter 14.
Yeah, I know you got a very different version of the binder than... never mind, it's not important.
I did?
I mean, my understanding, it wasn't a lot of time to prepare. Things moved very fast. I'm sure you understand. Not a lot of time left, though, Jade. So... yeah.
Well, I love you. Thank you for coming.
Well, I was kind of compelled, and he looks to David.
I'm in, but still.
But of course, I would always come for you whenever I could, if I could.
I know. And she just hugs him again. Is Kalina still home?
Kalina.
My sister?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Let her know that she might have some friends soon to play with.
Oh no. I mean, great for us, but oh no.
I mean, so she gets lonely if we're not all home.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I love you.
I love you, Jade. Do be careful. He kind of winks and he says, "Give him hell, yeah."
I will. All my friends are with me, so it's much easier.
He looks at the rest of you and he smiles and he gives kind of a grand wave. And he says, "Well, sorry for the start. Best of luck to you all." And he kind of looks around and he goes, might have time for one last question if anybody else has anything. No. Alright, well, nice meeting you all and safe travels. And the mouth of the skull starts to close, and you kind of see his form start to kind of like flicker into flame and kind of get pulled into the mouth of David, and the mouth of the skull shuts.
You seem nice.
He's really nice. Yeah. I just picked David up. He's gonna be a little tired. Put him in his bag. So that was my dad. My papa. He, surprise!
Nariko kind of just, like, rubs the back of her neck. So, when I asked what your dad's name was, I didn't think all that would happen. But I learned a lot today, already. And we're not even done with breakfast. I'm gonna finish my waffle.
At least when Dad was here, it probably all stayed warm.
Yep.
I was gonna tell you his name, but I don't know how much anyone has heard about him, and I thought this was just easier. I really didn't mean to spring it on all of you, but sometimes I don't always know. I don't always know what's how best to do things when it's not. It's complex sometimes, and this one just seemed like the easiest way for you to understand, rather than me try to convince you. But I didn't. I'm not lying, and I know that devils lie, and it's kind of the whole thing is that they can, anyone can convince you anything if you really want to believe it enough. And even the devils that started out as devils, that were always devils, they're not. I mean, some of them are very, very evil and awful, but they're just like people. There's some really, really evil, awful people who are just evil and awful just because they can be, or because they want something from everybody else. And Papa didn't start out as a devil. He was hope. Now he was an idea of everything before, everything that any time that there is a transition, night to day, day to night, child to adult, he was the one who protected that. He was the one that they called out to when things got dark, or when they were unsure. And eventually he became something more than just an idea. He became a person, you know. And they had rituals and all these things that they would do for him, and then he would. I mean, it was a sacrifice. There was a sacrifice. They gave up their childhood things and all the magic that had built up from all those years of being a child, and he got stronger and they got protected. Just like any other person who's dedicated to a god, I guess. You don't feel it happening, but that's what happens. All the magic of potential. And then you set forward on your new path and you're an adult, and all that potential of the things that could have been no longer are, and you're doing something on your own. And that's what he would do. My sister Kalina, she showed me. She's the oldest one of us. She showed me all the things, and they were really beautiful rituals, and they would dance all night, and they'd have feasts, and the little girl, the little boy who's suddenly now an adult, got to sit up on the altar all night and watch the sunrise, and they would fall asleep, and when they would wake up, they were an adult, and they got to set off on their own day, and brand new dawning of a new day and a whole new life. And then people started writing things down, and suddenly all the dancing was just fire. And the sleep that you would have from a night of revelry and one last childhood hurrah. One last night of total just freedom suddenly became an end permanently instead of a beginning. And no one helped him when that started happening. And no one tried to stop it. And so instead he makes sure that the people who try to hurt what he was originally, the things he tried to protect, he makes sure they can't hurt other people now. And it's really sad that there's so many of them, because that's why he's so powerful. But he does a really good job. And he really does love us. So much. But I really would like it if we can help not make him an end of something. He was never an end. I think he'd feel better. He's sad sometimes. Every time he brings one of us home. That he wasn't quick enough. That people still believe it. I think he wouldn't be as sad if it was just them making a fire and trying to summon him. I don't think he'd be mad about it. He gets really mad when people get hurt because of his name. You all still want to be friends, right?
Of course. Why would that change?
Good. I'll just check in. I'm just making sure.
Nariko is going to call Newman over. She's going to quickly write a very short letter to send home to Mother. The basics of the letter are going to be that Nariko has been traveling with her friends. She's in Rockdale, performing some more community outreach. That is the term she has settled on for what the fuck we do. Because we're not mercenaries, but we do find underserved communities in need of help, and we try and use our resources to help fix things. So community outreach, that's what we do. That'll be what we put on the form when we fill out for the LLC. But she's not going to try and explain everything. Merely that she was talking with one of her very, very close new friends. She believes there is a possible extraplanar associate that Nariko believes would be very worthwhile in offering some consulting. But it's a very complicated issue, and so Nariko requests if Katerina can take the trip over to Rockdale, since it's close and she can go by boat. Because Nariko knows that she'll be back here tonight, almost certainly, because we're going to hunt some gnolls, we're going to lose a bunch of hit points, and we're going to want to rest again.
Yep.
So, if Katerina is able to stop over here tonight, or like sometime on the early side tomorrow, then Nariko can take the chance to discuss all that with her and give her, a more comprehensive update. If not, that's fine. Just send a reply with Newman to that effect, and we'll just look for an opportune moment to cross paths again going forward. But yeah, Nariko will send Newman off with that message.
Everybody's been
Take off.
Everybody's been kind of quiet since Papa left. Is everyone okay?
I think so.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're all still friends.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. Good. Alright. Ren said yes already, so but I just want to make sure. Good. Okay.
Well, after that, going out and finding some gnolls in a cave doesn't seem nearly as stressful as I thought it would.
Oh yeah, I mean if we die, the ball will be there.
That's good to know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you wanted to come with me, you could. But I've never really been afraid of dying since I already did it once. I just don't like the lead up to it.
That does make it easier.
I mean, I don't remember dying. I just know I did it. and then I'll go home. So that's a bit of a comfort, you know.
Well,
Kind of want to stay, so you know.
yeah. Let's go find Ares. I asked her to meet us by the gate. With her on board, hopefully there was a far reduced likelihood of any of that happening.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of. I will definitely try my best to make sure that doesn't happen to me or anyone else.
Okay. Well, Mystic Mechanicus, shall we?
Oh, I forgot to tell Papa our name. Dang it! Now I'm gonna have to wait until David feels better. I knew I was forgetting something.
It's fine. I don't manage to tell Mother everything that happens with every letter I send her either. But
That's true.
it's good. It gives you more to tell them next time.
Yeah. I'm so glad I don't have any more secrets.
Really? Nariko raises an eyebrow incredulously.
Yeah. I mean, those are my biggest secrets I've ever had.
Well, maybe you'll find some more secrets. Everyone should have at least one secret. More interesting that.
Oh, well, I'm sure I have. I mean, I have little secrets, but not like big ones. Those are my big ones. Kind of the things that would kind of pretty much make you. Make or break friendship, I suppose.
Nariko smiles. Well, I have enjoyed trying to figure you out, Jade, and you have given me surprise after surprise. So,
Is that good?
yes, it's good.
Good. We're definitely gonna have to find a different name for the tutoring sessions.
Yeah.
That was not in my binder.
It's okay. I hadn't heard that particular term or phrase either.
Yeah. It seems like it should be just a regular thing. I didn't know that was supposed to be a thing. What do you call a group of 3 people doing something together?
A fun time?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, learning is fun.
You know what? We'll call it the study group.
Oh, study group. Yeah.
Yeah, they had those at school, and they didn't do things, I think.
Well, a study group is also not in my binder. We can ask. Now what? We'll ask the tutor when we get back.
Yeah, he'll probably know all of the words. That
Yeah.
mean
Do you think he'll give us a list?
I mean, we pay him for it. He better.
Okay. Well, we're probably gonna have to ask for a list because I'm never gonna remember all the.
We'll bring. I'll make sure I bring a second notebook just in case.
I'll have the back page of a binder too, so we'll got that.
Yeah, and then we can consolidate those notes into your binder for future reference.
Yeah. Apparently, my binders are not the same as my sister's binders. Interesting. I guess Grandmama was in a hurry. Maybe there's a more in depth.
A thought crosses Nariko's mind, and then she decides she's not going to ask that question while everyone else is present in the room, and instead is going to call for everyone to let's go on an adventure.
Yeah. All my nervous energy is now ready to go hunt things in a cave system. Should we go?
Has everybody finished eating?
Yes.
I don't. Okay, so another secret. I don't actually eat, but the food tastes good. So I'm done.
All right. Professor, have you had enough bacon?
Not usually, but I should be fine until second breakfast.
Do you want to take a bacon wrapped? No, not a bacon wrapped pancake. A pancake wrapped bacon?
No, it's all right. I'll wait for second dinner for that. It's fine. Let's go. I'm ready. You can
Right.
slay some bad things out there in the world and make a difference.
Yeah. You seem in better spirits today. About the whole adventuring.
Well, there's a saying. It's from an ancient land. I've read it in the history books. Is when in Kekebesh, do as the Kekebeshians do. And I don't know where Kekebesh is, but I feel it's apt here.
Oh, it's probably somewhere.
Oh, shit, somewhere. That's everything somewhere.
So are you supposed to be Kekabeshian then?
Oh, no. Far from it. I don't think. I mean, I never really asked or checked. I could be.
Maybe. Why were you asking about Jeffrey to Papa?
Well, as you know, Jeffrey comes from the void, and we have witnessed a little bit of void stuff, and I have recently come into a new spell utilizing the Void School of Magic, and I'm just trying to get... See, that's the question I don't quite know. I had a very vivid dream and awoke to Jeffrey holding my journal, and the spell just happened to be in there. And I must admit that my curiosity is driving me mad. I absolutely want to try it and see what's going on, and I have prepared the spell, but I am cautious. I know that so far, the people that we've run into who've had any sort of contact with this sort of thing have not been great people. And I just want to know that if I dip my toe into that water, will I get that toe back, so to speak?
Well, not only that, but I mean, we know that Jeffrey's okay because Jeffrey was made of the leftover void magics that were already there, so he wasn't punching a hole into the void each time you were bringing him out. But if you have a spell, won't that do that? Isn't that a concern we all have? That, or is it just when things come out? I don't really remember a lot of that conversation. Were we just worried about things moving back and forth, or is it actually using the magic that was going to rip holes between this reality and the next? Or, well, I guess not the reality, but the void.
We know so little about any of this that it's really hard to tell, and the only way to really learn is through experimentation, getting our hands dirty. I mean, look at Jeffrey, but I guess Jeffrey's all right. He remembers the pseudo conversation he had with Kellenvor this morning that sort of cautioned him against it, and he just sort of mutters "for now."
As you look at Jeffrey, he's kind of itching over to the table. He's reaching out with his face tentacles to try and grab a stick of bacon.
The professor will just nudge the entire plate of whatever's left over towards the edge so Jeffrey can take what he wants before we leave.
There's almost a bit of a squeal as he starts grabbing more.
Oh, Jeffrey's hungry.
You know,
I don't think you feed him enough.
I think he's just like me, and he's always hungry. I mean, he's stopped when the food stops being there, just as I do. He hasn't really ever turned it down.
Maybe he just likes food.
I mean, who doesn't?
I mean, I like food.
And you don't even need to eat it.
That's true, I don't. Or drink. Or breathe.
You know, Jade, I have to admit, when you revealed your secret, I was perplexed, because I couldn't believe that I missed that. I have a bit of a history with death myself, but now knowing the nature of your revival, I have to say, Moloch does some great work.
Yeah, he tries really hard to make sure that we can have the best life as possible while we're here, and that means making sure that people like you can't tell. No offense, I didn't mean it like in a people like you. I didn't mean it in that way. I just meant people who are familiar with.
Oh, that's absolutely the right way of going about doing it, because if people like me are able to tell, and I can tell you that people who can tell aren't always as, he kind of shrugs, nice as I am.
That's why my grandma said not to say anything. But
fair,
especially with us going into the cave, and I don't know what we're going to find in there, and maybe it'll just be gnolls, and maybe they'll all be monsters, and it won't be a problem. But on the off chance that we did find a person there, and that person had that amulet, I needed you to understand why we couldn't let them go.
Of course. We'll do whatever it takes.
Thank you.
You know, I'm glad that you told us that death is really just another step, a new road that we travel once we get to the ends of the one we travel in our lives. And living or not, all of this makes you, Jade, our friend.
It does. And I'm glad that... I guess I'm not happy about the bad things, but I am glad that no matter what happened, I got to meet all of you. And I don't know if I would have if some of those things hadn't happened. So, good things came out of it. And now we're here, and we're going on a community outreach program. I kept hearing Nariko mutter that while she was writing. I think that's what she meant, well, us going out to the caves.
He kind of chuckles to himself, and he says, that's what we academic call flavor text.
Flavor? It tastes different?
In a way.
Oh. Is it like a scented ink?
A what?
You said flavor text. Does it taste... And it tastes...
It tastes different to your mind. It makes you perceive it differently.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. No, I get it. Okay, adventuring versus community outreach. Okay. I guess that makes more sense because we're not going out looking for trouble. And we're not really... We're just trying to help people.
Well, it's kind of two sides of the same coin in some instances. I mean, we're kind of going out looking for trouble right now, but I mean, we're doing it with the intent of doing good for others.
That's true. I'm a lot less scared today than I was yesterday.
Good. Well, I feel like that bravery is going to come in very handy once we find who we're looking for.
I think so. For what it's worth, Professor, I know you're worried too about new magic, and I know you're also really curious and excited to find new things. I think so long as you're careful and you don't do anything by yourself, you're really smart, and I know you just want to help people and understand things, so I think you'll be okay. Just make sure you just don't go off by yourself, because you're not alone, you know?
He smiles and nods. He's like, thank you, Jade. The way I see it, even fire in the hands of careless or bad people is dangerous, and end lives and destroy families and entire communities, and even the wielder themselves can get burned. But if you're careful and if you have the right intentions, fire is a very useful tool.
My grandmama says that sometimes the forest needs to burn in order for new things to grow. Some things only come around because of fire. So, it's destructive but nurturing. It just depends on what you're trying to do.
He kind of chuckles and is like, well, here's hoping I don't start a giant void forest fire. I would like to avoid that if possible.
Please try not to do that until at least I can call my papa again.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to stop that if you do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah. I'm sure it's fine. Only in controlled circumstances. But anyways, let's catch up. Let's kill some
yeah, we kind of fell back. Yep. Hurry to catch up with everybody else.
Jeffrey, hurry up! You can fly. Why are you running on those little stick legs?
Carry him.
Jeffrey kind of toddles behind.
I'm not carrying him. He can fly. He doesn't even need wings.
He's a baby.
He's not a baby. You're not a baby.
You said he was a baby.
You know, the grand sense, but he's. They can
carry the
walk
baby. I carry David.
Well, you carry Jeffrey. I'll carry David if you want.
No, David is my friend.
He just kind of trots along, looks back at Jeffrey like, I'm not waiting for you.
Jeffrey doing his best to keep up. Eventually he starts flying.
He's so much faster.
Out.
So is the rest of the group following?
Sure.
Yep.
Alright.
Nariko's in the lead.
Very good.
Jade's just hurrying to catch up with everybody.
Back to the town of Rockdale.
Woo!
So, it's a lovely day out today. Partly cloudy skies. Comfortable cool breeze coming off the water. This is typical for Rockdale this time of year. It's morning, probably around 9-ish, 10-ish in the morning. So the town's just starting to wake up. There are little cafes lining the streets. People kind of sitting outside enjoying the morning sun. People already out on the boards at the beach, beginning to enjoy their day.
We head to the gates.
Heading to the gates, the fire Genasi guards still there, still doing their job. The flyers with the gnolls still prominently displayed. As you make your way to the gates, you see a familiar face. It is Miss Eris. She sees you approach and she kind of nods. She has a large morning star with her that she kind of slings over her shoulder. And she says, "Oh, finally you're awake."
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
We've been up for a while, but we had everybody met my dad.
We had a meeting.
I had a meeting with my dad.
Meeting with your dad. Okay.
How are you today?
I'm well. I'm ready to get this thing started, and yeah. So what's the plan?
Well, after eliminating their ambush patrol yesterday, it's most likely that they'll probably won't have a new setup on the road and will have drawn back to their cave in order to take up defensive positions. We're going to follow the path we were on yesterday. From yesterday's ambush spot, if there's no one left there, we'll head to the cave and see if they've still maintained residence. If so, then we proceed with caution and clear them out.
Well, sounds pretty simple and straightforward. I like it.
Nariko's really good at this.
Right.
You
Well,
know, it's it starts simple and straightforward, but we adapt.
yeah, I get that.
All right then, let's be off.
Okay, let's go.
She kind of makes way for you, lets you take the lead, and we'll follow you out of the city. I'm going to gather you guys up and bring you back to the world map.
Yeah. Along the trip, Jade definitely seems much more, a lot less agitated and much more talkative. She's always talkative, but there's not that edge of panic or nervousness right now. And she's just happily talking with everybody.
While Nariko walks in the front along with Eris, she'll give the orc a bit of a quick rundown on how the rest of the group fights, and generally give her the directive of we have a few people who can be sort of upfront in the scrum, but generally don't want to stay there. So she'll sort of be our frontline anchor. Just however she can sort of position herself to screen for the rest of us. That'll probably be the best niche she can help fill within our party. Between half of us, we can dish out a lot of quite literal firepower to take down anything that she's keeping off of our backs. And then the other half of us have healing and support to keep people safe in the meanwhile.
She'll take note of that, and she'll say, okay, so would you rather be up front or watch behind?
I would say the front.
Front, first in. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, great. This is gonna be a good plan. I feel good about this. So you guys follow the trail again. It takes about 4 hours to get to the point where you found the cart. The cart is still there, but it has been picked of everything that you guys had seen, which really there wasn't much salvageable. Along the way, you are still able to pick up on those tracks that you picked up the day before, but they have faded, um, consistent with not having been traveled in that day's time. So you're pretty confident that the way there is clear. So you make it back to the area where the cart is. And as you had suspected, there is no sighting of gnolls along the trail. So you'll get to this point probably around early afternoon. So you do have some time to have some walking and talking if you guys want to do so. Otherwise, you'll show up to where the path where the cart is, and you let me know how you wish to proceed from there.
Jade's gonna spend the time that we are walking to just, just be doing check-ins with everyone, making sure that everybody actually is okay and they're not just pretending to be okay. From that meeting with Dad was a lot. So she's just checking in on everyone. Otherwise, we will just go to the cave unless anyone wants to play that out. Or we'll keep it in chat.
Yeah, I'm fine keeping it in chat.
Okay.
So you follow the trail to the cart. From there, again, you kind of make your way back to where the gnoll ambush had fell as they were running kind of towards the north. As I said, to a small copse of trees where Reverie had previously sent up Mara and scoped out the area, and you knew that there was kind of this band of trees in front of a large kind of hill that has, for lack of a better term, a cave entrance to it. So you're kind of at the part now where you can approach these trees and start making your approach towards their cave, if that is what you would like to do.
Reverie, would you be able to once again have Mara do a quick scout ahead for us, see if those sentries we spotted are still there, and if so, if they're on alert or not?
Yes, of course. And I'll send Mara out to scout.
You send Mara out ahead to scout. Again, she picks up two gnolls that are standing at the mouth of this cave. They've kind of erected now a bit of a barrier in front to kind of try to bottleneck anything coming in or out. So there's only about a passage of about 5 feet wide now to try to get in between them. So not a whole lot of opportunity to try and like sneak around or behind them or anything like that. But you do see that there are two gnolls that are kind of standing guard outside of the mouth of this cave. They are equipped with hide armor and shields. Both are carrying spears, and they have kind of like a stand of arrows and a longbow positioned next to each of them. They are awake. They are active. They seem to be kind of like looking out to like the tree line. So they are basically on sentry duty, but they do not appear to be really leaving past the mouth of the opening of this cave.
Guards are still there, and there's a barricade now, so it's going to be a little harder to get in, I think.
Gotcha. Alright. I think our play here is first we should attempt to see if we can use these trees to try and sneak up. If we do so, we can maybe try and strike first from the cover and see if we can take them down quickly. If they retreat into the cave, don't follow them. If they've had time to set up these defenses, and especially if they're leading into a little choke point, I'm willing to bet any amount of gold that they've got traps lined right there to cause a real problem for any of us who just blindly chase after them.
Okay. Okay. That sounds really smart.
So if they're on alert, we can do our best with the sneaking, but we may just not work out. If they do spot us, then, like I said, just try and take them out quickly before they can run away.
Should we try to?
What if we tried to draw them out?
Oh, that's a good plan too.
Is there anything that anyone can think of that they might want to come out for?
Joe, what check would I roll for exploitable psychological weaknesses in gnolls?
Let's call it nature or survival.
Nature. I'm definitely better at nature, so let's do that one. With guidance, that is dirty 20.
So gnolls are typically just ravenous beings. They just want to devour, consume, eat. Now, the gnolls that you have faced, they are slightly more intelligent than your typical gnoll is, but you'd probably be willing to bet that that instinct of just hunting and that hunger is something that doesn't really go away. So could potentially be food motivated.
So they might be motivated to come out if they think they're easy prey. We don't exactly have, a pig or something, and throwing out a piece of jerky in their line of sight, I don't think would really.
The professor nudges Jeffrey forward.
Who did she nudge forward?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey?
Jeffrey blinks.
He does look somewhat helpless.
Helpless, yes, but I don't think he would be appetizing.
Do you think one of us should try to be a bait?
It could potentially work. Wander around, don't have obvious weapons, look lost and afraid, and then run when you spot the gnolls and see if they're willing to chase after you for what they think is an easy meal. Very dangerous, though, so I don't know who would be crazy enough to volunteer for that idea.
Well, Yuki did it last time, so maybe not Yuki this time.
I would like to not get so hurt as I did last time.
Maybe, well, I could get further away from him quicker. I could try.
I am not sure with your history if that is a wise idea.
I agree with Ren.
My history?
Your experience with the cult, if these are indeed cult members in there.
Well, I think we're just trying to get the two up front, right? It's a valid point. I don't know what my reaction would be if I found out, except to want to kill them.
But I don't carry any weapons, and I can take the shape of a being who's not human, so they maybe don't know what to expect.
Oh, that's a good point too.
But you could look like a harmless human asking for assistance and see what happens.
Wait, are we
mean,
asking
that
for
too.
assistance, or are we just running away and trying to lure them to chase?
I believe if you ask for assistance and they give chase, running away would be an appropriate response.
We're more or less trying to entice them into their sort of hunting instincts, as it were. Preferably in such a way that they go running after you with their spears, as opposed to just grabbing their longbows and pincushioning you.
That is a complication.
I mean, if they did try to attack, though, I mean, all of us are here, so we could all fire on them at once.
True. Although at that point, all our scheme has accomplished is giving them the first chance to harm us.
I guess we could it's either try to lure them out with chasing, or we just try to get as close as possible without being seen and try to attack them before they can attack us.
Well, we have a nice odd number of folks here. Let's put it to a vote. So have one of us act as a bait, try and pull them forward, or creep up and you try to capitalize on the first strike. Jade?
I think if we can lure them away, it means that there'll be less chance of them sounding any kind of alarm or retreating back into the cave to warn the rest of them. So I think maybe the bait is a good idea. I'm going to vote for that one.
All right. One vote for bait for the high risk but high reward. Professor.
I think we're on the same page. I'm voting bait.
Vote for bait. Ren?
Agreed to lure them out. If need be, I can lure them away, but I'm not sure if I am most practical for this task.
Luring out for Ren. Okay. Reverie?
I'm worried that if one person goes up by themselves, and there is a trap nearby, then they might be in a lot of danger. So maybe we should all go, but I'm not sure about that either.
So one vote for creeping up. Yuki?
I fear if we go in, they will already have traps. I think, unfortunately, the bait idea is the best one we have in front of us.
All right. So vote for bait. Ares?
She kind of thinks about it for a moment. She says, "Well, I suppose it's possible that their cave will be trapped. I mean, I know I would if I were trying to secure my home. So the bait thing might work. I would suggest you use somebody who is hard to hit or has better defenses or maybe more nimble than the others to try to get away. But there is that faction of trying to make it so that they actually physically come after you rather than fire their bows. So I think it's a good idea to try to have one of us look like an easy meal, perhaps. But the trick, I think, would be to make it look like, you're not out there on purpose.
Yes.
So,
Like you're lost?
like you're lost, hurt, weak.
Yes.
Pack animals, they have a tendency to want to go after that kind of thing for an easy meal.
Maybe like calling for help?
Yes.
Or
My
for
thoughts
friends?
exactly.
Yes, and if they think that you're hurt, then they'd be more likely to try to approach you on foot rather than try to attack you from a distance, I think. Because they think that they can just get up on you and just perhaps even take you back to their den. But luring them away, I think it's going to give you your best shot from warning the rest inside, if you can get them far enough away.
Very good.
So,
ADM.
I suppose that's a long-winded way of saying that I'm for the bait idea.
Well, the bait has won, and you've hit upon a couple of things I was already considering. I agree, and I would propose that I should go forth and set the bait. She kind of gestures to herself. By all appearances, I am a young, demure noblewoman. I can fake some sort of sprained ankle, put on my best damsel routine, just keep my pistol tucked away, and leave the rifle with you guys. And I think that might be our best odds of coaxing these gnolls to move out of position and come into the woods a bit, where we can then counter ambush them.
ADM. Any red berries around?
Any red berries?
The berries.
Red berries.
Let's say high or low.
No, I'm red. I'm depressed.
That is a 12 on the die. So you are looking for red berries.
Uh-huh.
I'd say you find a bush of them.
Rainbow will go over and pluck some red berries and hold them out to Nariko. If you mash these against your clothing and possibly your skin, it could give the appearance of wounds.
I think that should work well.
Are we,
Let's get. What's
are
that?
we gonna vote? Are we gonna vote if Nariko should be the one to go? You're really, really good at hitting people from with your pistol and your gun and your bigger gun and your bigger pistol.
Indeed. And I won't be unarmed. I'll just be having the slightly less big gun, the one that was specifically designed to be fairly easy to conceal for the discerning lady who may need a little bit of self-defense in a pinch.
Is that an advertising pitch?
It is. Did it work?
I mean, I kind of want one.
It sounded very interesting to me.
Okay, well, if you're sure, and we'll be right here, and we won't leave without you.
Yeah. Well, if this goes poorly, I know from experience that I can counter snipe these ruffians, and I will just be taking my leave at the back of the party for the subsequent engagements.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right. Let's go ahead and see if we can't fake a little bit of a leg wound here, and maybe a little bit like across the forehead, like I took a bump, and so it might not be totally cognizant.
For the disguise, I would say I'll take a deception check.
I have anything to help with this.
I have a +4. If anyone beats me on that, I don't know if anyone has proficiency in its disguise kit. That would also help.
I don't. But I was checking
Mm.
my thing to see if I had anything in here.
Yeah, I do not either.
I have weaver's tools.
I have the slippers and robe from the spa.
Me too.
Very
Same here.
helpful.
Yeah, I can't help with this. I don't think. If we all are helping Nariko, like muss her up, can she have advantage on her roll?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's roll this. Thank you for the advantage, because the first roll was a 9. Let's see if we can
Oh,
do better
jeez.
than that. Okay, second roll was an 18. That's much better.
Yay.
There was some guidance on there, so that is a 22, and then with the bonus, that is a 26.
Very good. So, you get Narco all hurt looking. And how do you wish to make your approach towards the cave?
Move up stealthily as a group, as far as we think we can manage without alerting them, and then after that, Narco moves forward to draw them back to the ambush position.
All right. So, I would like a group stealth check then.
Oh, jeez. Okay, dice.
Oh, God.
Stealth. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. I have disadvantage on stealth.
Eris rolls a 22.
Oh, I rolled a 5.
13, 5.
Hold on. Do I have?
5, 6.
I have an inspiration. I'm going to use it.
Okay.
Oh, that's a nat 20 on that one.
Hell yeah.
All right. The group of you move forward, set up your positions, and Narco will take a little bit of a lead. I'll bring you over to the map. Please forgive the whip stitching of this map. I could not find one that suited my needs, so I literally whip stitched like 3 maps together to make this.
I'm excited to see your creativity. It looks cool.
You guys are down here. You may go ahead and place yourselves as you wish. Do we have a volunteer who would like to run Eris?
What is Eris?
Eris, so Eris, for the purposes of stat block, I am giving her the stat block of a bugbear. uh, with some different stats. 10 intelligence and a 12 charisma instead of what the Buckberry normally has.
Cool. I'll run her.
All right. I
Let me make
will.
poor decisions with an NPC that.
So there's the stat block. And then for whatever other purposes, just yeah, I'll put it here. So it's a 10 intelligence and a 12 charisma.
Cool.
Uh, who wants some magic weapon buffing for the upcoming hour? I think it's
Probably.
pretty much either Yuki or Eris would make the most use of it.
Let's see. Eris. Yeah, she's got a Morning Star.
Okay.
Yuki might get more use out of it though, because she gets multiple attacks.
Yeah, I get 2 attacks.
All right. Nariko will throw out her magic dust. Yuki's claws get coated in brass, and she's got some magics on her skibidi bops. I recommend putting something on your token, like the little
Yeah.
dagger symbol or something to remember.
Is this the same thing you gave her before?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Just gonna make a thing on your character sheet that just shows it. It's magical claw nonsense.
It's like, I would use this on my own stuff, but I'm an artificer, so I already made it my stuff magic.
So as you make your approach, um, the group of you finding various places to sneak up, you are under the impression that they have not noticed you as a group
Ugh.
as they stand by their cave entrance.
Jade's good mood and enthusiasm and excitement lasted all the way up until the moment Nariko decided she was going to be bait, and now she's back to being worried and nervous.
A couple of other points of note here. I think you should be able to see this kind of stuff from where you're at. You should see like some brambles, like right here
Mm-hmm.
and right here. Those will be difficult terrain to get through, where those vines are sticking out because they're like viney, thorny branches. You'll see the barricades that are here and here that cannot be passed through. So you kind of have like this space here that you can get through to actually get through them. Um, and you have some other bushes on to either side that you can use for additional cover if you uh, choose to try to do so.
All right. Once everyone has selected their starting positions, Naruto will move herself forward, and as she gets into view, she'll start stumbling and kind of like sort of staggering left and right, kind of like almost as if in a daze. She kind of moves up here and like leans against this tree and looks, and then she sees the cave and she gets like a look of relief, and she like moves forward, and then she kind of like locks eyes with the two gnolls here, and she kind of like stops for a second and then goes sort of bug eyes like, no, oh, no, 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 and she'll like turn around and like kind of bump into the tree and then bump back and then just kind of stagger and start running off, kind of the nose kind of reaching in intensity as she starts almost like yelling as she moves away. What is the response?
The two gnolls they kind of look at each other and they do that kind of like um, that kind of like hyena grin that they get, and you hear the hyena chuckle coming from them, and then they both take out their spears and they start to move forward to come after you.
Let them fight.
continue to follow.
When can I do something?
Whatever you want.
I like where they're at now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
She's moving. That's moving. Jade's good. Yep.
You guys
Do you
gonna?
want us to roll initiative?
Yeah, if you guys are gonna launch your attack, let's go ahead and do it.
Okay. Initiative is +2.
Roll 20. I've been trying to get the character sheet to work all night.
Chris,
Please
it's
don't fuck
21.
me. Thank you. Damn it, Professor. Oh wait, Professor, you're standing next to Jade. It has her weird initiative thing. She can pass you, I think, if she doesn't use
Yeah,
it.
and she's gonna tap the professor to give him advantage on his initiative. Twilight,
Oh.
Twilight's blessing.
Motherfucker!
Oh.
You know what? I'm using an inspiration and I'm using my real dice. Fuck
Okay.
that shit. That's 21.
That's
Good.
so funny.
Go ahead and make that adjustment in the turn order.
All right.
Jeez, that's funny. I'm gonna put myself in initiative.
And then don't forget
And
Eris as
Jade.
well.
I did her, but I can't click
Oh,
on
I
her
see.
to do her initiative.
You can't? You
I
don't
can move her, but it's not letting me, like, when I click her thing, it's not actually coming through. So I rolled a 21 on my real dice, though.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, there you go. Let me try again.
There it is.
Did it go?
Yeah,
Okay, I see it that time. Okay, it did it that time.
Yeah, it's doing the whispers to me, but that's okay.
Oh, it's okay. The first time I did it, it did do it. Maybe I just didn't click on it, though.
Probably. Yeah, go ahead
But,
and make whatever
I'll change her thing.
adjustments. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 21. After this, her rolls are going to be all by her sheet because I'm not keeping track of that.
Yeah. So. Sending.
Oh, man. These gnolls.
Eris has a dex of 14. Professor, what is your dex score?
16.
Professor is up first. Um,
I think Yuki wins between her and the.
oh yeah, Yuki definitely wins. I don't even need to look at. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ren has a +2. Reverie has a +2. Ren, Reverie, what are your dex scores?
14.
15.
Okay, so we're good there. So you guys will get a surprise round on these guys. They weren't expecting
Woo.
an ambush themselves. Professor, you're first to act.
So as these things chase Nariko, they get to where they are, and the professor just kind of steps out of the bushes, and his hand is drawn out in like finger gun, and he's like, "Hello there," and he launches a blue
Kenobi.
mote of fire at Blue. Oh, that's just the most chef's kiss one that I've ever done.
That's great.
Professor, I need you to roll me a d4, please.
Oh, no.
1d4 2.
As you go to cast your Foxfire, something twinges in your mind, and the shot is not as accurate as you expect it to be. So that too will bring your attack roll to a 19, which does still hit.
Oh dear.
Which one are you shooting for?
Blue.
Blue. Blue gets pinged for 1 point of fire.
Oh, my God.
Anything else for you, Professor?
He just like twitches his eye and looks at his finger like, what the hell was that? And I'll end my turn.
Just what you want to hear.
Eris.
Okay, Eris is going to rush out and attack. Is the blue one still surprised?
They'll be surprised until basically their turn ends.
Cool. So if this hits and it's a surprise attack, she gets an extra 7 damage. So let's go ahead and hit him with the Morning Star,
Okay.
I guess. Yeah, Morning Star.
Yeah, 23 hits.
Woohoo! Okay, we'll do this,
So that is okay, and then add the
and then
2d6 as
add
well.
7. Yeah, I guess we'll just roll for it. 8. All right, cool.
So Eris comes out
14
of nowhere,
damage total.
whack, bashes Blue for 14 points of damage.
Yep, and melee weapon deals an extra die of its damage. It's included though,
Yeah, it's already in there.
and I don't think I have anything else I can do, so that's her turn.
All right, Yuki.
Boop. We're gonna come over here out of nowhere, and we're gonna do some skibbity paps.
And we're adding a
Do-
+1 to these, right?
Yes, we are.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Kapow!
Ma'am.
11 will miss.
God damn it. Um. All right. Then. Kapow!
25 hits
Yay! Kapow!
for 8 points of bludgeoning.
And then. Do 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 do.
Do the more damage.
Huh?
Remember?
Oh, I didn't use the murder mitts damage. Damn it, damn it.
Yeah.
All right. All
Well,
right, I'll do that next time.
we'll use that now.
You
Use it now.
sure?
Yes, do it now.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
All
what
right.
your thing, that's what your
11
thing is.
Now it's 11.
So that's
Yeah,
another.
it is.
Takes another 4.
Hell yeah.
Bitch.
Anything else for you, Yuki?
We're gonna jump back thanks to mobile. We're gonna.
They're also surprised they don't get any reactions yet.
Oh, okay, perfect. Then I don't even have to use it. So that was 35.
But I mean, mobile's just a thing you have, so it's not like you're burning any resources to use it.
Exactly. 35. Okay, we're gonna go over here because I don't want to leave Reverie by herself facing red. So, that'll do it.
All right. That is red. Red is surprised. Nariko.
Nariko reaches her designated spot, hears the sounds of ambush happening behind her, smiles, and then kicks at the ground where she stashed her rifle, pops it up into her hands, turns around, and I am firing on Blue.
All right.
And surprise does not grant advantage, correct?
I do not believe so.
Okay.
17 hits. This thing
And
is
thank
extremely
you.
hurt.
Thank you for reminding me about the nut reactions thing. So I can do this. Hmm, 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 hmm. The narco basically pops the gun up into her hands, turns around, shoots this guy, and then starts running the opposite direction, probably taking them by even more surprise. She just runs past. And I think that's all I got for this turn.
All right. Blue is surprised. Jade.
Okay. Everybody's hitting blue, and I don't want to use too much of my stuff before we get into the cave because I don't know what's going to be in the cave. So I will cast. I'm just going to do a Sacred Flame onto onto the blue one. He needs to make a Dexterity saving throw.
What's your DC?
DC is 15.
Makes it 30-20.
Oh, okay. Well, he makes it.
Anything else?
So there is a mote of like silvery flame that turns orangish and red underneath him as he dances out of the way, and then it disappears.
All right. Is there anything else for you, Jade?
That's it. I'm gonna stay right here by this tree.
Ren.
Okay, Ren will come out of hiding. 5, 10, 15, 20, and try to use Thorn Whip against Blue.
All right.
Does a 13 hit?
13 does not hit.
Alright, well, that didn't work. He's gonna fall back 25, 30, so he has a little more shelter
Hey.
in case something else comes back.
Hey, Ren.
Hmm?
Hey, Ren.
There you go.
If
Oh, yeah.
you really
Okay.
want to hit, you do have an amulet now.
I don't hate that. Okay, does the amulet just give me advantage one time?
It literally just turns the attack roll to a base 10.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
So-
we're gonna make that attack roll a base 10 for 15 to hit.
15 hits.
Oh,
Yay!
yay. He'll have 2 damage. Yay, I
Is-
did the thing.
Enough to take it out.
Yay!
Thank you. I was trying to remember what that was called so I could add it to my inventory.
Yep.
Clockwork
I
amulet.
can.
Amulet of awesome.
I do like the
Thank you.
theming of it if it's literally just like, this is from the plane of absolute order, which means fuck your dice rolls. It's just a 10. What
I love
happens?
it. Oh, hi, Loki. Hey, Loki came out to visit. Holy shit. I wasn't
Oh,
ready for that.
Wow.
Loki!
Yeah, well, Juliet just jumped the fuck off of her couch to try to chase her.
No!
Warnings. Oh, okay. I'm cool. I'm cool. I just had a heart attack. I'm cool.
It's okay. It's only a mild heart attack. It's fine. No one ever died from a heart attack. It's fine.
Anything else for you, Ren?
No, I'm cool. I'm going to try to recover. I'm good. It's
All right.
great.
Rever, you're up.
Reverie is gonna step right here and throw a dagger at Red.
Okay.
6. I am not
6.
proficient.
6 does not make it.
Let's step back to where I was. That's my turn.
Right. We are at 11 o'clock. Do you guys want to continue on, or would you like to pick up at this point next week?
I mean, we just decimated this gnoll in one round.
Yeah, it's just one Knoll.
All right.
Or no,
Do you guys want to try to get this last one out and then pause before we enter the cave, or before
Yeah.
shit happens?
Yes,
Yeah,
we will
let's
do
do
one
one more
more
round.
roll murder and then call it.
Yeah.
All right.
Murder one more person tonight, and then we'll be done. Promise.
All right.
Only one murder.
Let's try to null murder. Professor.
All right, let's see if I can do better. This time he sends Jeffrey in for that sweet help action, and then he's going to try and Foxfire again
Okay.
with advantage.
Please roll me another d4.
Should make a macro for this. 1d4.
22 hits for 7
Sweet.
points of fire. Again, you try and you let your Foxfire go. Jeffrey kind of guiding the way, but again, as you release the spell, there's another, like, it almost feels like a kind of like a quick, sharp pain in the temple. Like you get like one of those real quick like headaches, and then it goes away just as fast. But it's just enough to just throw your aim off just a little bit.
He winces and grits his teeth and shakes it off.
Shake it out. Nice. Anything else for you, Professor?
Nope.
All right. Eris is back up.
Cool. She's gonna rush into this guy. Let's go down here. I was on top of this dead body. She seems like that kind of person who would step over a dead body to get to him. And we're gonna Morning Star. Yes? Yeah. He's not surprised anymore.
Correct. 17 hits.
Cool. So it's just a straight damage.
Oof.
Oh, that was max damage.
16. It was almost max damage.
Almost
16
max
points of
damage. Damn. Go
Oof.
Eris. Good good on bringing her in, Nariko. Damn,
Atta girl.
that'll be her turn.
Very good. Yuki.
Gabow. And we're
Murder
gonna.
notes.
Gabow.
19 hits
Gabow.
for 10. Still standing.
Gabow.
9 will miss.
Fuck.
Hmm.
What are we at? Balls.
Do you have an inspiration?
I do.
You don't have to use it.
I
Oh,
know.
you also have an amulet.
Oh, that's true. You can turn that into King's
Oh,
head.
I do. You're correct. I will
Want to use
use
it?
my amulet. I do.
16 hits.
Hey. Glow.
Oh,
Ow!
How you want to do this?
nice. Oh, yes. Oh,
Well, the gnoll is looking at Eris, who just kind of fucked him up a little. Yuki's just gonna cover the back and just a quick 1-2 snickety snack and just drop him to his knees and out. Quick, efficient, done, dead.
Couple of quick cat scratches. Slashes the knoll open and it drops. You take a look around. Your attack was efficient. It was stealthy. It was quick. These gnolls were not able to get anything off, let alone any kind of sounds to alert anything else that might be hanging around. For now, initiative is done.
that's so
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Guys, we made a plan and it worked.
Woo!
Naruto
Right.
just pulling out a chalkboard and putting a single tally in the win column.
There's 400 in the not win column, but man, one is such a good number.
It's a good feeling.
Such a good round number, one.
It is indeed an integer. A positive one, even. Who'da thunk?
Woo,
Who thought
positive.
that?
Okay.
We did good
Uh,
things.
Good job, team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, team. Woo.
So with that, we'll go ahead and we'll press pause for the evening.
Yes. Oh my god, that was great.
All right, so RP goes to Ren.
Yeah,
For being Ren.
that was just amazing.
Yes.
I lost my shit where after Ren talks about lost souls and such, and Jade says, my grandma said the same thing, and Ren immediately says, really? That's very specific.
Ren still has 2 inspirations. I need to use my shit.
Well,
Damn
just
it.
know,
Let's be less funny.
just feel it in your heart that you're awesome.
Yay! I don't prepare well, I don't plan in depth, but I'm funny. So that's important.
You're very
funny and
funny.
you're on point.
Look, some people have like being quote unquote the funny one is just like the only thing that they work towards for the entire session. You don't even have to try. You just are.
You just encompass the being of awesome.
Agree.
Thank
You
you.
are
You guys
what
are so good for my self-esteem.
you are what in the business we refer like not a comedian but a wit, like a
Yes.
Voltaire kind of person.
Yeah.
Boom.
Anyway, if it's not Red, then I think Jade had the most RP going on during this.
Agree.
Thank you.
Visibly hearing her voice breaking as she's trying to tell her deep dark secrets to the rest of the party.
I'm very proud of myself for making myself cry on cue both sessions.
Nailed it.
It's a pretty big Jade's been growing by some pretty big leaps too.
A lot of stuff has happened, and she needs to make sure her friends know what's up. Because somebody put a cult in my way. Otherwise, this would have remained hidden for who knows how much longer.
I mean, I didn't make you reveal anything.
No,
I just put a little amulet out of a little pouch in the middle of nowhere.
you knew what you were doing because you're great.
You knew exactly what you were
You
doing.
knew
Don't
exactly
even
what you were
try
doing.
it.
Don't even.
Hey,
Nobody's buying that shit.
Don't act like that wasn't gonna immediately make her like freak the fuck out and have to talk to somebody about it.
well, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Bitch.
Sometimes I don't know how your characters are going to react, and it's interesting to see.
Well, you did that. It's all your fault.
It is all your fault.
I'm also going to nominate just Yuki for being
Huh?
frightened and remaining frightened, even though the condition lessened because it's still scary as fuck to suddenly see a goddamn devil just appear.
He's pretty scary.
He's super scary, which is why it's hot, but he's my dad, so I don't think that. Yuki for that, and then Nariko for the plan of like getting Eris to come with us, and she was amazing help. Taking the lead on like getting us down here, getting us ready to go. You know, getting the vote as to what plan we want to go through, and like taking point on being the bait for
Yeah.
all of it. So my nominations are Yuki and Nariko, and then
You-
I will also back up nominate just the professor for fucking everything with goddamn Jeffrey, and that little bit of hesitation there when Jade like asked him why he asked her dad about Jeffrey. Because that was a really great moment as well. Him like taking that moment to talk about, hey, there's this some sort of hellish being here. He's got to know something, right?
There were a lot of good moments.
So many good moments. You know what would really reward all that? A level up.
Yeah,
That would be really nice.
yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
It would so do that, and you
Yeah,
wouldn't have to have this. And you wouldn't have to have this whole like, oh, who should I reward this to?
I know.
I know. Must be
Yeah,
making your job easier.
I know.
You're welcome.
Nariko takes one look at the cave, like, hold on, guys, takes out all of her box of scraps, constructs a robot within like 5 minutes. Is like, okay,
I'm
now
waiting.
we know.
I'm waiting for
Okay, she
Newman
would.
to turn into a mech and just be like, he's a transformer and he becomes fucking god damn it, my brain. Optimus Prime.
Well done. Good reference.
Thank you. My brain isn't working right now, guys. I'm sorry.
That's because you have con crud. Go rest.
I'm resting. I'm in bed. I have my computer here with me in bed.
You are
Uh,
talking
what-
and thinking a lot.
I've stopped thinking a while ago.
You know what Nariko really needs to make is the giant robot from Fallout 3 that was made by the U.S. government during the Cold War, where it just shouts capitalist propaganda as it throws
Oh my
tiny nukes at people. Liberty Prime, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I'll give roleplay to Jade and MVP to Nariko for this.
Woo.
Nice work, guys.
Thank you.
I accept. I burned both of my inspirations to figure up a long distance call plan so that Jade's dad and my mom can talk to each other.
Ren still doesn't understand why you're trying to get them together, for the record.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta.
All right, I got to take off because Juliet needs to go to
Yep.
bed so Will can come out from behind the couch. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Night,
Good
honey.
night.
Bye.
I'm
Good
gonna
night.
sleep too. Good night, guys.
Night.
Good
night.
night, honey.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off as well. Good night, everyone.
Good
Good night.
Bye.
The four of us remain.
I am not going to be here for much longer. I am exhausted.
Sleep is good for you.
So I figured out why there was so much traffic.
Why?
There were 4 accidents,
Oh my god.
and there was an additional one that I was almost involved in.
Oh shit.
Are you okay?
I'm good.
Oh my gosh.
See the other guy.
Yeah. So traffic was stop and go for a lot of it. And we got past one slow section and started speeding up. But if you looked ahead, traffic was just slowing back down. And I'm in the middle lane. There's 3 lanes going each direction on the highway. I'm in the middle lane, and in the left lane, 2 cars in front of me. This person in the Jeep was not paying attention. Traffic was coming to a stop in front of them. They rear-ended the car in front of them. The person behind them didn't have a chance to react. Rear-ended the Jeep. The Jeep flipped over on its side. I'm pretty sure there was a 4th car involved. One of the cars got pushed into my lane, and I got over as far as I could, and I probably missed it by like 8 inches.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's... Yeah, you need to go lay down. That would be exhausting just on a regular day.
Dang.
So I don't know why there were 5 accidents within 6 miles of each other, but something's going on.
For sure. See, I'm in bed. I'm so tired.
Go rest. You're
I've
sick.
been so tired all day. No, this was fun though. I had a really good time. I'm sorry I delayed our fighting of gnolls. I did not expect Dad to come out.
You
I
summoned
don't think
him.
anyone.
Last session afterwards, I told Joe, depending on how the group takes everything about Jade and how things go about Moloch may depend on. Neville, did you cut your hair?
Yes. That
It looks
today.
very nice.
Thank you.
It looks very nice. I may have to summon Dad because depending on how the conversation goes around Moloch, she might get frustrated and flustered and want to. I need Dad here, so prepare for that. Everything went really well, and I'm like, oh cool, I'm not gonna have to summon Dad. It's gonna be fine. No one's questioning this. And then Nariko goes, "What's your dad's name?" And I'm like, huh. Well, I don't want to lie. And at the same time, I also don't think at this moment Jade is going to want to put the effort in to convince you that you're wrong because she has a way to convince you right now. So Joe messaged me. He's like, "So you're not fighting gnolls tonight, huh?" And I'm like, "Nah." That was like
Yeah.
an hour.
Moral of tonight's session: if you summon a demon, people will be scared.
Yes.
If you summon a demon, people are gonna want to talk to it, man. That's the real moral.
If it's not going to kill them, then yeah, talk. That's what you do in D&D. You either fight, you talk, or you seduce. I mean, that'll make the rules.
What letter did you send to Katarina? She can't seduce my dad, although he is lonely. And Katarina doesn't have a husband, so this could parent trap itself.
If it no effort from me whatsoever to reach that ending, so that's on Joe at that point. Those are his NPCs.
That goes on Joe with going, how bored am I today? Push these dolls together.
I mean, you can do what I do. We're just like, D100 roll, and then if comedy happens, it happens.
D100 roll, and it lands on a 69, and Katarina's into it.
It's the best. Can't deny the best.
I realized we're still recording.
That's your mom.
What else have we learned?
Oh!
We're still recording. Okay.
We're still recording, so.
We have learned that you shouldn't call it a threesome.
Yeah. Or a three-way. And we've also learned that when Grandmama rushes her binders, not all the information necessary gets disseminated in them.
and I've learned that Moloch is very open about talking about sex with his daughters.
Moloch is all about. There's a reason consent is in that binder. Hey, Moloch is all about the transition to adulthood, and that means learning things and understanding the world around you and being a fully fledged and rounded person to go into adulthood as somebody who is a productive member of society and can benefit humanity. And that all of that does not preclude to leaving people to guess for whatever it is you mean. It just so happens Jade is a proud virgin and doesn't need, and it just never come up.
Oh dear.
He's like, oh, uh, we needed to have this talk a while ago, and I forgot.
All right, I am headed out.
All right.
Okay, honey. Good
Good
night.
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 Love you all.
Love you.
Yo.
I
So
will
funny.
probably head out in just a moment. I just wanted to check one thing with Joe first.
Yep.
For Frost Maiden, we are in agreement.